So normally on my channel, I react to scary videos of people getting kidnapped, people getting abducted. I always react to like scary mysteries that have never been solved. But today, I thought we should switch it up and we should watch 5 disturbing internet mysteries that were actually solved. So unlike my other videos where I watch people who got kidnapped or people who went missing and never were found again, today we're gonna react to 5 different things that have actually gotten solved. We're gonna actually have a good ending to these videos for once. Let's go watch this. It has 3 million views. Shout out to this guy. Let's go. Try not to get scared.
On the 24th of April, 2022, at around 3 p.m., 10-year-old Lily Peters left her home to visit her aunt on her own.
Oh God, dude. Why do we have to start the video off about a little girl going missing? Hopefully this is actually gonna be good news though. Hopefully she's found. She just looks so cute.
The aunt's house was just a 3-minute bike ride from Lily's home in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And since she lived with just her father, Alexander, after her parents' divorce, Lily often went to her aunt's house on the weekends to play around.
So this 10-year-old girl rode her bike to her aunt's house. Nothing like out of the ordinary. She does this all the time, but I feel like they're gonna say she got kidnapped or something.
Well, it wasn't unusual for her to make this journey on her own. Unfortunately, what started off as an ordinary weekend was about to end in a horrific tragedy.
Oh God.
Things took a turn for the worse when Alex noticed that it was getting dark and Lily still hadn't come home. It wasn't like her to stay out late. He called his sister, assuming Lily was still at her place. But, to his surprise, she told him Lily had already left over an hour ago. He then called the parents of Lily's friends, hoping she might have stopped at one of their houses on her way back. However, none of them had seen her either. Fearing for the safety of his daughter, Alex began searching the route Lily would have taken to and from her aunt's house. He also contacted the police and reported his daughter missing at around 9 p.m. While the authorities didn't issue an Amber Alert, they quickly formed a search party to help look for her in the surrounding area. And after hours of searching, Alex finally discovered the first clue to his daughter's whereabouts: her bike, abandoned in a nearby wooded area. But Lily herself was nowhere to be found.
Dude, that is creepy, bro. Your daughter goes missing, and then you're looking for her, and then you find her bike in the middle of the woods. I bet oh no, dude, that'd be creepy.
Police deployed drones and rescue dogs to search the woods and investigate the hiking trail that ran through the area. Then, at around 8:45 a.m., Alex received the news he had been dreading all night. Lily was deceased. A volunteer had discovered her body hidden under a pile of leaves just a few feet from the trail.
I thought this was gonna be good news, bro.
After a brief examination, police ruled her death a homicide and began looking for the perpetrator.
Somebody killed the girl.
Unfortunately, they had nothing that could lead them in the right direction.
And they have no evidence or anything about who did it. They just have no idea. Hopefully they figure it out, because it says internet mysteries that were solved by people on Reddit. So hopefully someone on Reddit knows something and they can find the killer and send that motherfucker to jail.
It was about Lily's case in the true crime subreddit. While everyone else was speculating on what could have happened to Lily, user HomesliceNation4 came forward with a crucial piece of information in a now deleted comment that read, "What's scary is I was playing Pokemon Go in the park that day and walking along that very same trail. My stomach turns when I think that I saw that girl in a pink/purple hoodie on her bike with another kid on my way out.
Oh my God.
I have a suspicion that it could be another kid that did it."
Wow.
Another user called the police tip line to report HomesliceNation4's comment. And to everyone's surprise, this was the breakthrough the investigators needed to solve the case.
No way.
Because just a few hours later, police arrested Carson Peters Berger, Lily's 14-year-old cousin, as the prime suspect in her murder.
You're a
Not
weirdo.
long after he was taken into custody, Carson admitted to everything. However, just what happened to Lily that night was more horrifying than anyone could have ever imagined. According to Carson, he followed Lily as she was heading home and told her to follow him into the woods. He'd been planning this for months.
What?
Once they were off the trail, he punched her in the stomach, hit her several times with a large stick, and strangled her until she took her final breath.
What?
He then went back home as if nothing had happened. But when he heard about the search for Lily, he panicked and went back into the woods to move her body further from the crime scene and hid it under a pile of leaves. Though, all thanks to one Reddit comment, he was thankfully caught.
Dude, so thanks to this guy who said he was playing Pokemon in the park that day, and then he saw that girl riding her bike and she saw her with a guy, this kid, and he reported it and they found this kid. They would have never assumed that it was this kid. They would have thought it was like an older person.
Given the severity of his crimes and the fact that it was all premeditated, prosecutors decided to try Carson as an adult.
Wow.
He's still in custody awaiting his trial set for some time.
Send him to jail for life, bro. Okay, well, thankfully they caught the killer, but damn, that was sad. Hopefully we can get some good news in these next stories.
On May 1st, 2013, Reddit user ShadyBusiness15 posted on the What Is This Thing subreddit, seeking answers for a strange device he found inside his power strip. The post read, "Violently blew a fuse in my extension cord, took it apart to see the damage, and found this inside." Alongside this, the OP shared pictures of 2 circuit boards connected to each other with wires and what appeared to be a SIM card.
I think that's a bomb, bro. That looks like a bomb.
He also cross-posted this in the Reddit Bureau of Investigation subreddit, where users noticed a microphone on one of the circuit boards and figured this was a spying device of some kind. With one comment providing more details about how it worked, stating, "Your extension cord is a room bug. Someone calls the phone number on that SIM and the extension cord auto-answers and listens to the room." Put simply, one of the circuit boards was a cut-down version of a phone that used the SIM to transfer audio from the built-in microphone.
So this guy's living in a random apartment, and one of his outlets, like in the wall, you plug the stuff in, it blew up. So he checked it out to see what it was, and he found this machine in there that listens to everything that's happening in his room. Somebody's listening to him, bro.
The second board was a power delivery module, allowing the device to run directly off of the wall power without needing any batteries.
Wow.
However, this raised more questions than it answered,
Who would
especially
do
about
that?
the OP's true identity, with some users speculating if he was involved in some shady business. After all, why else would someone go through the effort of planting a bug to listen in on his conversations? But according to a later comment, he was just a normal university student who was living in the university's dorms, and that he took this extension cord from his home when he moved. But also mentioned that there are other people with access to his room who could have planted the bug without his knowledge.
Bro, why
With
did
this,
people
the
wanna
focus
listen to
shifted
him?
towards finding out who planted this in the OP's power strip and why. Some users suggested putting the SIM in a spare phone, but doing so only deepened the mystery further. Apparently, it had a 10-pound credit, suggesting that it was being used at some point. However, it didn't have any contacts, voicemails, or call logs. And judging from the network messages, the device had been active since October 2012. This also helped the OP retrieve the SIM's number, but calling it returned an automated message stating, "The service is now closed, and if you have voicemail, you can turn it on." Nothing else. The OP tried leaving it active in a spare phone as well, but even after days of waiting, he didn't receive any calls or messages. It's possible the person who planted it had already gotten the information they needed, or perhaps they found out the OP had discovered it and decided to back off. In either case, the OP's only remaining option was to contact the SIM's carrier, O2. Unfortunately, they weren't much help either. He would have needed a police warrant to access the call logs, something he didn't want to deal with. Without access to the call logs, the only real suspects OP had were his own parents. However, he didn't find the spy SIM's number in either of their phones when he checked later. This left a single possibility that's also the most likely explanation for the whole thing. Put simply, the spy device was never meant for the OP in the first place. As many on Reddit hypothesized, the bug was likely intended and used for corporate espionage at some point. From there, it somehow found its way into the OP's home. Maybe one of his parents brought it home from work or purchased it in a corporate clearance sale without realizing what it actually was. But by then, the device had already fulfilled its purpose and wasn't being used. Unfortunately, while Redditors were quick to identify and solve what the device was, they weren't able to find a concrete answer for who planted it and why.
So somebody
The last
put a
update from the
microphone
OP was in
in
May of
his
2013. Chances of getting an answer now, over 12 years later,
And he
are
just-
practically zero.
He found it. He couldn't find out who put it in there, and then he gave up. That's crazy.
Of August 9, 2018, 66-year-old Susan Rainwater set out on her usual cycling route in Eaton,
Her last name is Rainwater. That is fire.
Washington. But unlike the countless times she'd followed this routine, that day she didn't come home on time. Worried, her husband David Rainwater went out looking for her, only to come face to face with the aftermath of a tragic accident.
Oh.
Just off the side of the road, David discovered the mangled remains of his wife's bicycle. As he got closer, he saw an injured Susan lying on the ground not far from the bike. Sadly, it was already too late.
Oh.
Susan had succumbed to her injuries and passed away before David could get to
Come
her.
on, bro.
He eventually gathered him
Imagine like trying to find your wife, and then you see her on the ground dead.
to call the police, who after
Nobody was hurt, by the way, YouTube.
and her surroundings were able to piece together what had happened. And according to their investigation, this was a classic hit-and-run case. Susan was likely struck from behind by a fast-moving car, resulting in her getting severely injured. However,
Come on,
instead of
bro.
stopping and helping Susan, the suspect decided to save himself and fled the scene.
See, that's messed up, bro. If you hit somebody while driving, the best thing to do is slow down and try to help them and call 911. and just tell them, I'm sorry, like, I apologize. That's way better than hitting them and running, because they could end up dying. And then when you get caught, you're going to jail for murder. But if you accidentally hit somebody with a car and then you pull over and you help them, they won't take you to jail. They'll just be like, okay, you're getting your license taken away because you don't know how to damn drive. Would you rather get your license taken away or your life taken away, buddy? Come on.
CCTV cameras, leading investigators with no leads to follow. The only clue they found on the crime scene was this one piece of black plastic that likely broke off of the suspect's car.
No way they're gonna find the suspect from a piece of the car. No way they got a piece of his car and they're gonna find him. That's crazy detective work if they do that.
Tried their best, but they weren't able to figure out what this was supposed to be, let alone what car it belonged to. With no other options, one of the troopers at the scene turned to the internet for help, stating, "Troopers and detectives are still looking for a black vehicle believed to be involved in this morning's tragic bicyclist fatality. If you know anything regarding this collision, please call the Washington State Patrol." While this post received little attention on Twitter, someone reposted the query on the What Is This Thing subreddit, where it went viral and received valuable input from hundreds of users. And it didn't take long for Redditors to figure out that this piece came from the car's headlight bezel, as it had the notch used to access the headlight adjusting screws. However, figuring out what car this belonged to was still going to be a tall order. After all, there are dozens of manufacturers with hundreds of different models,
out there, bro.
not to mention aftermarket parts, which would have been practically impossible to track down. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, the post reached perhaps the only person capable of identifying the suspect's car model from that tiny broken piece. 2 hours after the original post was made, user Jeff's Nuts dropped a comment that single-handedly brought the search to a close. As it turned out, Jeff was a state inspector in Maryland, where his job was to make sure vehicles were up to code before issuing registration. So he'd seen his fair share of headlight bezels at work. And according to him, the piece police found belonged to a 1988 Chevy Silverado. After spotting the resemblance, users forwarded the information to the investigators, prompting a search for a vehicle that matched this new description. Then, just 5 days later, the state trooper announced what everyone was waiting for. They had located the vehicle that struck Susan and arrested its owner. The man responsible for her death was 37-year-old Jeremy Thomas Simon. He first claimed that he had fallen asleep at the wheel and thought that he'd hit a deer instead of a person. However, his story later changed to where he knew he hit a person, but didn't get out to help because he, quote, did not want to see a body. It was clear he was just making excuses, since authorities also found a small bag of hard drugs in his car, suggesting he may have been under the influence at the time of the crash. In the end, he was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. Not exactly a harsh penalty.
4 years for killing somebody and driving off, bro? That's baby. Do you know how crazy that is that somebody knew what that thing was, like knew what part of the car that was and then found him? Shout out to that guy, bro.
Hit and run,
wow.
But it is better than nothing. Especially considering that if the Reddit user Jeff hadn't identified the make and model of Simon's vehicle and posted his findings to Reddit, there's a good chance he would have gotten away with it entirely.
Yeah, that guy literally saved the crime, bro. That's
in
crazy.
October 2024, someone noticed that one of their electrical outlets in their home looked different from the others. It looked like it had a camera inside, but it wasn't super obvious. So they turned to Reddit and posted photos of the outlet, hoping someone would either confirm or deny their suspicions.
That's a camera.
They also explained their situation further in a comment reading, "I've had a stalker in my apartment broken into in the past. I got a camera detector for peace of mind, not knowing it would read anything, but it led me to this and detected radio waves and reflected back with the infrared. The bottom ground looks different than the other GFCI plugs in the rest of the complex."
Yep, that's
right
a camera.
Right away, several people agreed with the OP in that something was definitely off about the outlet.
That's
then,
a camera.
Just 40 minutes after the post went up, one user confirmed the OP 100% had a hidden camera in their home by tracking down the exact model for sale online. And according to its product page, it's a wireless camera that could transmit 4K video completely over Wi-Fi. Given the OP's history with a stalker, the same person was likely behind installing the hidden camera as well. Many strongly suggested the OP get out of the house and call the police.
Weird.
Unfortunately, what happened next remains a mystery. The account that made the post was a throwaway the OP created solely for this purpose. And after confirming their suspicions, they never posted any new updates.
Dude, what? So this is apparently a girl who had a stalker. She noticed that there's a camera in her outlet and her house has been broken into before. So she thinks her stalker broke into her house, put that camera in there, and has been watching her, bro. Oh my gosh. How do you do that?
In July of 2012, user Delver of Secrets Reddit account made a post in r/askreddit looking for answers on a strange encounter they recently had. It stated, "Today, a homeless-looking man handed me $50 and this note. Do any of you have any idea what it means? Dear Reddit, I work in New York City and was dragged into a very curious situation today. I was taking the 1 train from Midtown to the financial district, and as usual, the train was pretty packed. I bumped into a raggedy dressed man as we got on, and he shot me a quick smile. I thought nothing of it until he went to get off at 14th Street and he handed me a $50 bill along with a note. Before I could even open my mouth to ask him a question, he was gone. Below you find pictures of both the front and back of the note. I've been looking at the note all day, and needless to say, I have no idea what it means. It's handwritten on a 3x3 square piece of paper with no identifying marks and no watermarks. There's a hand-drawn grid, and in a couple of spots, the cells of the grid are combined. The note has random characters written throughout it, and the bottom quarter is filled with random shapes and numbers. Maybe I'm just reading way too far into things, and he was just another crazy New Yorker, but I figured it would be neat to see if anyone has run into this similar situation. Do any of you have any idea as to what the note says, if anything? After taking a good look at both the note and the $50 bill, some users figured out that the note was what's known as a bifid cipher, and deciphering it revealed a message that read, "There's plenty more money to make. Figure this out and prepare to meet July 19, 56 and 6 hot dog stand outside Rue 57 Cafe. Ask for Mr. Input." However, before anyone had the time to figure out the true meaning behind this note, Delver of Secrets received a coded message on Reddit. It was likely from the same guy that handed him the note earlier that day. When decoded, this message read, "You have managed to find the message with the help of friends. You changed the rules, now so will I. July 12, 4 p.m. Find the Blue Jay at 6.5 and 56 and tell him you are the last."
What?
This was packed with clues pointing in multiple directions. For starters, 6.5 and 56 corresponded to 6.5 Avenue on 56th Street in New York. And at that location, there was a salon named Gotham Skincare. This led many to believe that this whole thing was a marketing stunt for something related to Batman, especially since the date given in the original note, July 19th, was 1 day short of the release date for The Dark Knight Rises.
No.
One person even called the marketing company for that movie in hopes of getting them to admit the truth.
So basically, I was one of the people who got caught up in the whole homeless man give me $50. We had to figure out some sort of code. So after staying up for hours and reading all the comments, I definitely came to the conclusion that this reeks of marketing campaign. And
why would the Batman movie people pay homeless people to give people notes and $50 bills? They would I think it's more likely that they would just pay people to give people $50 bills and then give them like a ticket to the Batman movie. Why would they give them a very hard to decipher note? Like, people aren't going to go out of the way to figure out what this note means. If your whole goal is to give people money and then make them want to see the new Batman movie coming out, why would you make it so hard for them to figure out that the note is about Batman? That just doesn't make sense.
That it's a certain company.
Nope.
Hey guys, what's up? All right, so it's 9:16 here in New York, and I'm about to call Leveraged Marketing Corporation of America. If you look up the address that we're all supposed to meet at later today at 4, this is actually a marketing agency that's right next to it, so it just makes sense that it might be them. And the Dark Knight thing just makes sense too, because the movie's coming out so soon. And hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm calling to make sure that everything is going to be set up for the Dark Knight campaign later today.
What is the Dark Knight campaign in New York City?
Yeah, it's actually right next to your office. At about 4 o'clock today, actually.
I see. Yes, I know what that is. Please give Margie a call. I'm Callan.
He just admitted to knowing about it. I don't know. You figure it
No.
out.
No.
While this didn't lead to anything substantial, Reddit users found the next clue hidden within the Reddit message. You see, the username that sent the message was 222-0944-379. One user converted this to an IP address, and it led to Fort Huachuca in Arizona, a military base that's primarily focused on intelligence training. So, could it be that Delver of Secrets was being recruited as a spy or something along those lines? For some, this was certainly a possibility. However, another user discovered that a spy exhibition was happening at the nearby Discovery Times Square Museum on July 12th. Maybe this was a marketing stunt for that instead. But this idea was also shot down by another user who claimed to work for the museum, stating that they had nothing to do with this. With no other leads, a group of curious New York-based Redditors decided to meet at the specified location on July 12th to see if anything would actually happen. However, despite dozens of people showing up, including Delver of Secrets, no one noticed anything out of the ordinary and had to go back in disappointment. Now, if this was some legitimate espionage-related matter, a large crowd would have instantly scared off anyone planning to meet Delver of
Right, like if the homeless man was planning to do something crazy, and that's why the code said like meet here on July 12th. If the homeless man kind of like saw that there was a big group of people, he wouldn't have shown up. Like,
Location. So the whole thing was kind of pointless in that regard. But on the other hand, the gathering all but confirmed that this wasn't some marketing stunt. Because if it were, the media attention and large crowd would have been the perfect moment for a big reveal that never happened.
right, if there was a big crowd there, the Batman people would have been like, new Batman movie. Like, it's not the.
That no one saw coming. On July 13th, Delver of Secrets removed everything from his post and replaced it with a single ominous passage reading, "Received a phone call today threatening violence against me and my family, going as far as to name members of my family and their addresses unless I delete this post.
What?
The caller also told me not to show up on the 19th and to inform anyone planning to show up on the 19th that nothing would happen. This will be my last message from this account before I delete it. I'll also be changing my number later today. I am sorry if a resolution to this never happens, but I'm not willing to risk my family's safety for a few extra dollars." With that, Delver of Secrets vanished from the internet. While Reddit did solve layers of coded messages and uncover clues hidden within other clues, they were ultimately left with nothing but speculation and an unsolved mystery.
Are you serious? So this guy got a random note from a random homeless guy. It was in a code. It was coded, all this stuff. And then once the people behind it figured out that a bunch of people were figuring out about this code, he called him. He got a random call from somebody saying, "I know your family. I know where you live. I know your. If you don't delete this post and you don't delete this, like, I'm gonna kill you." That's insane, bro. Imagine getting a random note from a homeless guy and then you get threatened to be killed. And oh my god, dude. What's up, dummies? This video says 4 disturbing missing child cases. We're about to watch some of the scariest kids that have went missing. Like, these are gonna be crazy ass stories. Lock in. Try not to get scared. If you need some pull-ups, go put them on. I don't care. I'm not gonna judge. Let's see 4 kids that went missing.
On the
Jared
2nd of October
Adadero.
1999, at around 11:30 in the morning, 2 men came across a very young boy while fishing at a campsite on the Big South Trail, which is a part of the
What?
Arapahoe and Roosevelt National Forest in Colorado. And while running into a lone child in the middle of nowhere is cause for concern,
That
the
is
2
weird.
fishermen saw a group of hikers about 80 to 90 feet ahead. They figured that the child was a part of that group since after a brief conversation, the child ran off toward the group they saw. This
Okay.
child was 3-year-old Jared Adadero.
3-year-old. Okay, wait. If you're like in the woods and you see a 3-year-old, that's a problem. I thought he saw like an 8-year-old. Okay, sometimes 8-year-olds go in the forest and whatever, but like a 3-year-old kid that looks like this, he looks so damn cute, bro.
And this was the last time anyone would ever see him again. To understand how a 3-year-old even ended up in that situation, we have to take a step back and examine the life of his father, Alan Adadero.
Okay.
Alan was a divorced, single father who was taking care of his 2 children, the 3-year-old son Jared and a 6-year-old daughter Jocelyn.
Okay.
Earlier that year, Alan had become deeply involved with a local religious organization known as the Christian Singles Network Group. By October, he was hosting 11
Bunch of
members of this
hogwash.
group along with his 2 children at a resort he co-owned with his brother. On the day of the incident, the kids wanted to go on a trip to see a fish hatchery with the group. Alan was a bit reluctant at first to let them go, but ultimately caved in when members of the group assured him that they'd only visit the hatchery and come right back with the kids.
Okay.
However, for reasons that remain unclear, unbeknownst to Alan, the planned visit unexpectedly transformed into a 15-mile hike along the Big South Trail, commencing at around 10 a.m.
What the fuck, bro? So they said, "Oh, let us take your kids on a little trip. We're gonna go to a hatchery and look at some eggs and stuff like that." And he was like, fine." He ends up letting them take his kid to the hatchery to see some cool stuff, and they take a 15-mile hike. I think he said 15. 15 miles is insane. Y'all know, bro, I've done hikes before. I've done like a 3-mile hike, and that thing had me like huffing and puffing. And I'm pretty, like, I'm in shape. I'm not fat, you see? Like, I don't have a big belly, bro. And that 3 miles had me huffing and puffing. Imagine 5 times that for 15 miles. Come on, bro.
Taking 2 young kids on a lengthy hike without their father's permission, this was mistake number 1.
Yeah, come on,
The
bro.
second, and arguably the worst,
Also, I've been on hella hikes before, and I would not want a 3-year-old kid yapping and bapping and pooping and peeing his pants right next.
mistake the group made was that no one took explicit responsibility for the kids. Everyone just assumed that someone else was looking after Jared and Jocelyn, when in reality no one was.
Are you kidding
To
me?
make matters worse, the hikers had split into 2 groups, those walking faster and those lagging behind. This separation made it nearly impossible to keep track of the kids' whereabouts.
Bro.
About an hour and a half into the hike, Jared reportedly interacted with 2 fishermen before running off towards a group of hikers. Now, this is where things get a bit murky. From what I can gather, it's unclear whether he was somewhere between the two hiking groups or if he had already passed them entirely. The hikers seen by the fishermen might not have even been a part of the same group.
Right.
Sadly, this was the point where Jared vanished. However, it wasn't until 12:15 p.m. that the Christian group realized that they hadn't seen him for over an hour. Panic set in, and some members of the group rushed back to the resort to inform Alan. He wasted no time, immediately driving frantically to the trail while beating his chest and saying, quote, "They lost my baby, they lost my baby." In the meantime, his resort manager filed a missing person report and got the rangers involved in the search.
Wow.
Since this was a fairly active hiking trail, the rangers in the area had plenty of experience finding missing people.
I mean,
so
yeah.
much so that the sheriff at the time stated, "Absolutely, I thought we would find him. Yes, it was a child, but my thought was we should be able to get in there with our people and do what we do and what we have done hundreds of times, find the person. It might take a few hours to find the child crying or hiding someplace nearby, but we would be done before midnight."
Don't tell me he
He
was
even
never
instructed
found.
his subordinates to wake him up when they found Jared, but the news never came. After almost a full day of searching, Jared remained missing and the hopes of finding him alive began to wane. Things went from bad to worse when the helicopter that was searching for Jared stalled 100 feet in the air and crashed, injuring all 5 of its passengers.
Are you serious?
By October 7th, over 200 professional searchers, a dozen dog teams, professional trackers, a dive team, and a plane were doing everything they could to locate Jared.
They had the whole state out there looking for him. Please tell me they found him, bro. What could this kid be doing?
Or at least find some clue that could answer his mysterious disappearance. Tragically, after 5 grueling days with no leads, the search for Jared came to a heartbreaking halt on the 8th of October. It became a massive story in the media and even led to the Colorado governor signing the Amber Alert plan into law. Jared's case, however, remained completely cold. That is, until June 4, 2003, when 2 hikers named Gary Watts and Rob Osborne found some tattered clothes and a sneaker about 500 feet above Jared's last known location. The pair already knew about his disappearance, so they instantly made the connection and contacted the authorities.
They found pieces of his clothing 500 feet higher than when he was last seen, which means this kid was climbing up a mountain? What the hell was he trying to do?
What followed was a more thorough search of the area. And 10 days later, searchers made a grim discovery, a molar and a part of a human skull. DNA tests confirmed what Jared's family feared. These remains were his.
Damn.
They also confirmed that the clothing belonged to him, the
Damn.
same clothes Jared wore on the day he disappeared.
Damn, bro, that's a fresh outfit, bro. Ah.
After nearly 4 years of his disappearance,
Look at
Jared's
that.
family finally had some closure.
He was found 4 years later, bro.
But even with these new discoveries, the question remains, what really happened to Jared? The most straightforward explanation is that he wandered off in the mountains, got lost, and eventually succumbed to hypothermia.
Oh,
But there's a problem with that theory. The spot where his clothes and remains were found is nearly inaccessible. It's extremely steep and rocky terrain that would be challenging for an adult to navigate, let alone a 3-year-old child. The most
weird.
plausible theory is that he was attacked by a cougar. These animals are native to the area, and while they rarely attack humans, a small child could easily become a target. During the investigation, some of the hikers in the 11-member group also reported hearing a distant scream during that time, including Jared's sister Jocelyn. So, if the cougar theory is true, it would explain both the scream and how Jared's remains got so far from his last known position.
Oh, okay, so maybe like a cougar or a jaguar or a black panther or something took his ass. Took him up to, oh my
And
God,
while it is pretty
bro.
convincing, there are some inconsistencies in the animal attack premise that I find difficult to justify. For starters, researchers did not find any blood or cougar remains like hair on Jared's clothes.
Oh, then there's no way. There's no way a cougar got him. If there was no blood, no cuts, no even hair from the cougar, there's no
How can
way.
that be possible?
Right.
What's even more puzzling is that Jared's pants were inside out when they were found in the forest. I can't think of any logical way a cougar or any animal for that
That cougar, but bro, you really think the cougar took him up there and started folding his clothes? Hell no.
matter could turn a pair of pants inside out. Not to mention the fact that the pair of sneakers they found were in excellent condition considering they would have gone through 4 winters in the Colorado mountains. All of this points to a far more disturbing theory, according to which Jared was actually abducted and later killed by another person. And the reason his sneakers were in such good shape was because the kidnapper likely scattered Jared's remains on the mountain years after the incident. I realize this is a horrifying thought, but it's really the only plausible explanation that accounts for all these strange details. Unfortunately, even with all the evidence we have, Jared's case remains as much of a mystery today as it was the day he disappeared.
Bro.
And the truth of what happened to him may never be
Yeah.
known.
Rest in peace to him, bro. He seemed like a cool ass kid. Man. Oh man.
Paulette
Alright.
Gabarra Farah.
Palagabera
On the
Farah.
21st of March 2010, the Gabarra family returned from a trip to their home in Mexico. That evening,
Mexico, bro. Yep. See, Mexico stuff be happening in Mexico. I've been there a couple times. I'm lucky to be back.
the parents tucked their 2 daughters into bed, unaware it would be the last time they'd see one of them alive.
What? They tucked their 2 daughters into bed and they didn't know it would be the last time they'd see one of them alive. Imagine putting your kids to sleep and one of them you never see him again. What? I gotta hear
The
about
following
this.
morning, the family's nanny, Erica, entered 4-year-old Paulette Gabarra Farah's room to
Oh,
wake her,
man,
only to
she's so
find the bed
cute.
empty. She could not find the 4-year-old girl anywhere in her room. She turned everything upside down while searching for Paulette before finally alerting the mother of the kids, Lizette Farah. Lizette quickly informed the authorities, and they started investigating the little girl's disappearance almost immediately. However, this case was unlike anything they had seen before.
Yeah, where'd she
Paulette
go?
had severe physical disabilities, so she couldn't have gone
Oh.
anywhere on her own.
Wait, hold on. This just makes it even creepier, bro. She had a physical disability, which means like she can't walk very fast or like she wasn't super strong. You know how some kids have like, cerebral palsy? I don't know what the hell that is, but like the things where they can't move very well. So there's no way she could have ran away from home. Plus she's like 4 years old. How's she going to run away from home? Someone captured her, bro.
But the investigators didn't find any evidence of someone breaking into the house and kidnapping her either.
So there's no evidence of anybody taking her, but there's no way she could have left. Did she just explode?
It was as if she had vanished into thin air.
Literally.
So, after exhausting all of her options, the Attorney
The hell
General's
does that
office
say?
quickly put together a poster explaining Paulette's situation and plastered it everywhere in the region.
My God.
Lizette's sister, Arlette, also posted a few pictures on social media. Surprisingly, these social media posts went super viral, turning the disappearance of Paulette into a national headline.
I don't know what that
In
says.
the evening, Lizette even released a message on television to the potential abductors, asking them to return her daughter. She claimed that they could leave Paulette in a shopping center or some other crowded place and the family would not press any charges against them. Sadly, none of these efforts amounted to anything.
Bro, look how cute this little girl is, bro. And just to hear that she had physical, disabilities, bro. Imagine, okay, I'm just talking for myself. I bet most of you watching this are young, so you can't relate to what I'm about to say. But, I'm imagining if I had a daughter and she was, physically, handicapped. Look, I would protect my daughter with, my whole heart, especially if she was handicapped, bro. I'd be it'd be my life mission to, make sure nobody mess with my daughter because she can't do stuff for herself. So I would take care. Damn, that just makes me mad, bro. This also looks like my sister, how she looked when she was younger. So I kind of feel connected, bro. I love my sister. Oh my God. I really hope this girl's found.
That is
By
until
the end of
9
this
days
story.
later, on March 31st, when the little girl's lifeless body was discovered back where it all began, her own room. It was stuck but
Did I just hear that right? Let me just rewind.
anything.
What?
That is until 9 days later, on March 31st, when the little girl's lifeless body was discovered back where it all began, her own room.
I don't got anything to say.
Was stuck between the mattress and the foot of the bed.
No.
On the surface, this should have been the end of Paulette's case. However, the inconsistencies surrounding her disappearance were too significant to ignore.
She was stuck between the bed and the bed frame and nobody noticed? Oh! No, there can't be. Somebody had to set that up.
For starters, how is it possible that no one noticed the little girl's body just feet from where she was supposed to be asleep?
Yeah.
The Gabarra house was investigated by professionals who also used highly trained dogs. How could they miss something so obvious in their search?
Yeah, if they had canine dogs sniffing for this girl, they would have been like, she's right here! And plus, that little girl is too young. She probably pooped herself or peed herself. They could have smelled the shit in the room. Okay, I'm just thinking, but you know what I'm saying.
Most importantly, how did no one who visited her room notice the smell? As a comment
I
on
just
YouTube
said that.
mentions, I found the body once. It was in a basement apartment and we went to do a checkup on her due to a smell complaint. Flies were everywhere and they were huge. The smell was thick and it stuck to everything. It was a hot and humid summer. She had been dead for 3 days. There is no way that Paulette was in that room for 9 days and no one noticed.
Yo, you gotta investigate the parents for real. Cause this dude just said he found a body before. It was only 3 days and it smells so bad. But in this story, the little girl Paulette was only in the room for 9 whole days and nobody noticed. Yeah,
The
right.
smell of death literally gets everywhere. Now, if the room was immediately taped off after Paulette's disappearance, all of this could have been potentially explained as nothing more than incompetence by the investigators.
There's no way.
But in reality, the room had many visitors in the days after the incident, including guests who slept in that same bed for multiple nights.
What? So you're telling me people came over? Like, okay, I kind of understand it. Like, people are like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. Like, people came over to, like, help the people. And then they slept in the little girl's bed. There's no way that little girl was actually right there the whole time. There's no way you go sleep on a bed and there's a dead person right next.
Lizette even gave an interview sitting on top of the bed where Paulette's body was later found. How did she not notice? The only logical explanation for all of these questions is that Paulette's body wasn't under the mattress during the initial searches. Instead, it was placed there later by someone, possibly one or both of her parents.
Yup!
According to the official coroner
Low key! Earlier, I peeped something. Hold on. Earlier, when I saw her mom in the TV,
report, in a shopping center or some other.
This kind of caught me off guard.
In the evening, Lizette even released a message on television.
I don't know. She's blinking a little hard and stuff. Like, I don't know. It caught me off guard. I think it's the parents.
According to the official coroner report, Paulette moved onto the bed on her own and fell headfirst into the gap between the mattress and the frame. There, she asphyxiated and passed away before her nanny, Erica, came looking for her in the morning.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because, like, they said that she was physically disabled, so, like, she could have fell into, like, her bed and then, like, and, like, nobody could hear her because, like, maybe her face was in the thing and she can't move. That's so sad. But I think it's the parents, bro. I hope they found that the parents...
But the evidence contradicting this official statement is a bit overwhelming. For instance, when the rescuers found Paulette, she was wearing dark trousers with a pink giraffe pattern. However, Lizette clearly showed the same trousers just days earlier while showing Paulette's belongings during an interview.
Yep. This is... Nope. This is... Yeah. This is... Nah. This is... She's literally holding the same... So this little girl was found wearing these pants, but her mom, a couple of days before, was folding these pants. No, that... I hate... How can you have children and do that? It's just making me mad, bro. I'm about to start raging right now. I need to chill. I need to chill.
What's even more concerning is that during the official video where the authorities found the body, the investigators also uncover multiple bloodstains hidden in the sheets, some of which were the size of a soccer ball. At one point during the video, one of the investigators even remarks that they, referring to the parents, were beating up the kid. Despite this, the official report completely ruled out physical abuse and mysteriously made no mention of the bloodstains.
How did the official report not even mention blood? If somebody dies, you have to mention the blood. Come on.
All this came out, it caused great outrage in Mexico, leading to Alberto Bazbaz resigning from his position as Attorney General of the state of Mexico. From what I've read on this incident, everything about this case suggests a cover-up by the authorities. It's possible one or both of the parents accidentally killed Paulette while attacking her and came up with an elaborate scheme to hide their crime while also farming media attention. And for this to work, someone high up must have been in on the scheme.
Yeah.
Of course, all of this is merely conjecture on my part, as there's no evidence to prove any wrongdoing by either of the parents.
No way.
Unfortunately, we'll likely never learn what happened to poor Paulette on that night. Unless, of course, someone with insider knowledge decides to come forward. Though, after 14 years, that seems increasingly unlikely.
That's just so, like, they obviously did it. The parents obviously...
Said, if the parents were the ones who caused this tragedy, they wouldn't be the first, because something very similar happened in this next case.
Another case that's similar to the... Oh my god.
Lucy Meadows.
What's wrong with parents,
On July 25th, 1996, Jan Meadows visited the Rivergate Mall in Goodlettsville, Tennessee to sell some crafts at a flea market.
Okay.
After parking her car, she opened the back door to let her 3-year-old daughter Lucy out of the car. She then
That's a
went to the
cute
passenger
little
side of the
kid.
car to retrieve some crafts she was going to sell. But when she came back around to the other side, her daughter was gone.
Nope.
She immediately contacted mall security and they conducted a thorough search of both the mall and the area surrounding it, but Lucy was nowhere to be found.
What?
Over several weeks following the incident, police dedicated hundreds of hours, interviewing 100 witnesses and relatives, following up on tips, speaking with parents of children resembling Lucy, and reviewing surveillance footage from the parking lot. Though the surveillance video was too distant to reveal any clues, it captured Jan Meadows wandering the lot, seemingly looking for someone. However, even after all this effort, they didn't find a single clue that could lead to Lucy's current whereabouts.
So you're telling me this girl pulled up to the mall with her daughter. She opens the door for her daughter. Then she goes back around to the other side of the car to get something out of the back seat. Then when she goes to talk to her daughter's gone. Like in the span of 20 seconds? Yeah, right.
But things were about to get much
was
more disturbing
planned.
when
This
police
was
started
planned.
investigating Jan.
Yeah, investigate
For
Jan.
some context, Jan was a Korean immigrant who had separated from her husband Tom and was living with another Korean woman, Hyeon S. Dai, also known as Tammy. And
That girl's name is Hyeon S. Dai, but she's known as Tammy. That's like my name being DJ, but people call me Bob. What the fuck?
in her
sorry.
original statement,
This is
Jan
serious.
claimed that she had only looked away for a few seconds, and that was all it took for Lucy to disappear.
She said she opened the door and walked around to the trunk, and then the daughter disappeared.
Yeah, right.
But after a couple of weeks, she changed her story and said that she might have been busy for 10 to 15 minutes.
She's a liar. She's a liar. She's a liar. Put that girl in
This
jail.
is a massive difference.
That is huge.
As the lead investigator at the time pointed out, if they had known the time frame for the disappearance was 10 to 15 minutes instead of under a minute, they would have searched more extensively from the start. This sudden change in story also put Jan as a prime suspect in Lucy's disappearance.
She better go to jail
They
for
put
life.
Jan under 2 polygraph tests, and she failed both of them.
They did 2 lie detector tests and she failed both. Send this girl to jail.
After which, she became reluctant to talk with the investigators. During this time, a neighbor also reported seeing the 3-year-old Lucy wandering outside early one March morning and not dressed for the weather and crying. Police also questioned her housemate Tammy, whose statement didn't fully align with Jan's story, making the whole situation even more suspicious. Police and the FBI then carried out an extensive search of the Meadows house,
Yeah, search
farm,
the
and
house.
the surrounding area.
Search it all.
However, they didn't find any evidence against Jan or Tammy, and the case
What?
was left wide open with no leads for the next 18 years.
Bro, look at this. This is what she looked like. This is what she could look like. She'd be 27.
But then in November of 2004, a witness came forward. He claimed he
8
saw
years
Lucy lying
later?
on the floor at home wrapped in a blanket and looking like she could have been dead a day before her supposed disappearance. And while the police never released the name of this witness, I believe it was Daniel, Tammy's son, who would have been 11 years old at the time of the incident. If we take his testimony as truth, many of the inconsistencies in Lucy's case began unraveling. Lucy was likely already dead before her alleged disappearance on July 25th. Jan disposed of her body somewhere and then made up this abduction story to cleverly mask the truth. As for who killed Lucy, it could be Jan, it could be Tammy, or both.
Come on,
And the cause of
bro.
her death could range from extreme neglect to overwhelming abuse.
Are you telling
We
me
have no
they
way of
don't
knowing.
know?
And if Jan and Tammy have managed to hide the truth for over 28 years, it's
Are you
unlikely to
telling-
confess anytime soon.
Wow.
That said, the case is still open at the Goodlettsville Police Department. Who knows, maybe we'll see another witness come forward sometime in the future.
Man, really, I want to be able to find these things, bro. I want to be like, I want to go to this city and go like to the woods or whatever, or like water and dive and look for her bones, bro, because I know her mom killed her, bro. I want to bring justice. Man,
Sabrina Eisenberg.
Sabrina,
Sabrina, come crawl to mommy.
oh my
Come
gosh.
here.
They have
Come here,
videos.
gorgeous.
This is the first video Florida couple Steve and Marlene Eisenberg recorded of their nearly 5-month-old daughter, Sabrina. What they didn't know at the time was that this was also going to be the last.
No.
A day after this video, on the 23rd of November 1997, the couple
One
watched a
day
Disney movie
after?
with their 3 kids and tucked them into bed. Marlene later checked up on her daughter around midnight before going to sleep. But when she woke up the next morning, she was greeted with a tremendously frightening sight.
And as I turn around and I look and notice my laundry room door out to my garage is opened. And then as I get closer, I'm looking now out to the street and seeing that my garage door is up. So now I'm just looking straight out to the street.
She immediately rushed to Sabrina's bedroom, which was the closest to the garage. Unfortunately, it was already too late.
I ran into the first bedroom, which is Sabrina's room, and I look in the crib and Sabrina's gone. And I scream.
This shook Marlene to her core, which is quite apparent from her disturbing 911 call.
Oh, God.
911. Hello. I need the police. My baby's been kidnapped. All right, ma'am, need to calm down. Okay.
Shut up.
Take a deep breath.
Stop saying calm down.
I just got to wake my son up. My garage door was wide open. My house to my door was wide open, and my baby's gone out of the crib. How old is your baby? My baby is 5 months old.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, help me.
Upon closer inspection, the couple found out that Sabrina's disappearance was partially their own fault. They had forgotten to close the garage door the night before. As the police got involved, they started a manhunt for the supposed kidnapper, which ended up being the largest manhunt in Florida history at the time.
Whoa.
Investigation of Sabrina's room revealed a mysterious footprint and some unidentified fingerprints near her crib. Now, this should have been the proof that someone had already kidnapped little Sabrina. However, cops were struggling to find any other lead or evidence that could lead them to the perpetrator.
Don't you got a footprint?
Instead of continuing their search outward, they shifted their focus inward, turning their attention to Steve and Marlene.
Okay, it wasn't the parents. I can just tell with this story, it wasn't the parents. You can kind of tell when people are being genuine. At least I feel like I can. That 911 call was real. She was like, ah!
The idea that someone could have walked into a suburban home in the middle of the night, plucked a 5-month-old child out of her crib, obviously raised a lot of suspicion around the Eisenbergs.
I mean, I
It's
guess.
unusual for a true kidnapping. A lot of times they find out that it's someone the family knew or had knowledge of, and that's part of the leads we're looking at.
Sabrina's parents were now lead suspects in the case of their own missing daughter. They were summoned for extensive interviews on multiple occasions and were also instructed to take polygraph tests. And while Steve passed his tests, the results from Marlene's tests came out inconclusive due to the stress she was under.
Okay, that's plenty of proof to know that they did not do it. The dad passed. She was passing but not passing at the same time. But dude, that's your baby. You just gave birth to that mother trucker 5 months ago. You just held that mother trucker in your belly for
It seemed like the higher-ups had already made up their mind about Steve and Marlene being the perpetrators, and were just trying to find any evidence that could support this conclusion.
It wasn't
At one
them.
point, they even instructed Marlene to appear cold and uncaring on TV, and then used that to question the legitimacy of her feelings for her daughter.
What?
Please bring our baby back to us. She needs her mother and her father, and we all miss her and love her very much, and we need her to come home to us, please.
It backfired because the perception was that they were cold.
Marlene was seen by some as being not authentic, unemotional. Law enforcement seemed to focus in on that
Bro,
display.
get down, bro.
It took all the strength that I had to say what I said, and then the minute I was done, I broke down in tears. Okay, hysterical. But of course, the cameras were not put on me then.
It got to the point where Steve and Marlene were no longer interested in talking to the police and hired an attorney to act as a shield. However, this only made things worse for the Eisenbergs, because on December 12, 1997, law enforcement successfully received the court's permission to install hidden listening devices in their home. These
What?
devices remained active for almost 3 months and captured over 2,600 conversations between the couple. To build a case against Steve and Marlene, claiming that they had found evidence of the couple admitting to Sabrina's murder.
They found
These
evidence?
alleged transcripts included statements like, on December 23, 1997, Marlene said to Steve, "The baby's dead and buried. It was found dead because you did it. The baby's dead. No matter what you say, you just did it." To which
What?
Steve responded by saying, "Honey, there was nothing I could do about it. We need to discuss the way that we can beat the charge. I will never break from the family pact and our story, even if the police were to hold me down. We will do what we have to do."
Are they sure he said
On January
that?
21, 1998, Steve said, "I wish I hadn't harmed her. It was the cocaine." And 10 more counts of similar incriminating statements. They also used these as evidence to break into the Eisenbergs' home and arrest the couple. However, when the cops presented this evidence in court, the judge was unable to make out the phrases that were claimed to have been said. The entire case was dismissed, and Steve and Marlene even won a counter lawsuit which made the government pay their attorney fees for the bogus
Wow.
lawsuit. And from my research, I'm fairly confident that Steve and Marlene were likely not the reason behind their daughter's disappearance.
Yeah, I don't think so.
One of their old neighbors also came to their defense in a YouTube comment which read, I lived about a half mile from the Eisenbergs at the time of this tragedy.
Okay.
We also had a 6-month-old baby boy at the time. I never so quickly moved my son's crib into our master bedroom for a month or so after that happening. Personally, after hearing so very much about the case, and I actually knew someone who knew the mom, these folks could not have done it. They were genuinely wonderful parents and a decent, normal family. My heart goes out to these people to this day. Our son is 25 now. Sabrina would be 25 years old this June. So sad. Sadly, while the police focused on blaming Steve and Marlene, the real perpetrator continued to slip further from their grasp.
See, that's the thing. They spent so much time thinking that it was the parents, and they allowed the actual person who took the baby to just get away. This 8 most disturbing things caught on a doorbell camera footage. And look at this lady. If I saw this lady outside my door on my Ring doorbell camera, I think I'm going outside with a shovel and just kill it, bro. Oh my God, I'm gonna check this video out. I wanna see some scary ass doorbell camera footage. Let's check this out. 4 million views almost. This is insane. Let's check it out. Oh God. Most disturbing things caught on doorbell footage. This is gonna be scary, bro. Try not to get scared, everybody.
This footage was captured in Flint, Michigan on April 24th, 2023.
Hold on. Flint, Michigan? That's like the worst city in the world. Of course this is gonna happen.
The house had 2 Ring cameras, one above the garage, and the other was a Ring doorbell camera.
Okay.
Around 10 p.m., a man in a red jacket and another person just behind him are shown walking up to the house's front door.
Oh, that's weird as hell.
Before knocking or ringing the doorbell, the man in the jacket immediately starts trying to break down the door.
Wow, with his leg?
He's unknown.
That's insane, bro. Imagine being asleep and then you look at your camera because you hear like bang, bang, bang outside and you're like, oh, damn, maybe like my DoorDash is arriving. And you look and like, holy cow, somebody's trying to break my door down. And then his buddy has a weapon. Bro, I don't know what I'd do in that situation. I might go outside and start punching.
It's unclear if they were ever identified by police.
Damn, they don't know if they ever caught them, so they could be out there doing that now. Y'all, bro, anybody out here watching this? Bro, y'all gotta be safe, bro. They got cameras everywhere. Don't do stupid stuff, bro. You're gonna get caught doing some stupid stuff. If anybody ever is doing some stupid stuff, you're gonna get caught. That's what I'm saying, bro. Cameras are everywhere.
The clip was captured at 3 in the morning on April 9th,
3 a.m.?
2023. It happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What the hell is that? Bro! Dude, if I look outside and I see this lady, oh my God. This is the type of person who would live in New Mexico. That's all I'm saying. What is she doing? Is she trying to like open the door with the key? The key doesn't work.
The homeowner was sleeping when the clip was recorded. It wasn't until he woke up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it.
Bro, this dude was asleep when this was happening. He woke up, looked at his phone, and there's just a creepy lady trying to get into his house.
He reviewed the footage, horrified. This is what he saw.
Oh my God.
A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house and even looking around for a hidden one.
She's looking for a hidden key? This lady's tripping. Look at this. She's trying to... Yo, what's on her nose? Is she like bleeding? What is up with this lady, bro? She's using every single key. That's not even a key. That looked like a revolver. Look at that. That's not even a key. It's a revolver chain. Oh my God, she's tweaking. I've never seen somebody tweak harder.
The homeowner claimed that he had never seen this woman before. He said that she later started throwing rocks at his car and trying those locks.
What?
It's likely she was under the influence of something.
Yeah.
Multiple times she tries to insert keys into the doorbell camera itself.
Hold on. Why is she trying to insert keys into the doorbell camera? I'm pretty sure a Ring doorbell doesn't even have a key. I'm pretty sure it's like a keypad. What are you trying to put a damn key into?
A few minutes she walks off and was never seen on the property again.
She was never seen again?
Her intentions are unknown.
Yeah, what was she trying to do, bruh? You know, actually, this is a crazy story. About a year ago, I was sleeping, right? I was just sleeping. It was like maybe 4 a.m. Pitch black outside. And I heard somebody I heard my doorbell ring outside. I don't have a Ring doorbell. I just have a normal doorbell. So they rang it. And I was like, who the hell's ringing the doorbell this late? It kind of spooked me. I was woken up out of my sleep. What the hell? So I look outside my window. How my room works is I have like a window right here, basically. And I can look outside and see my front door from here. So I wake up and I'm like, who the hell? So I look out and there's a guy just standing outside of my door, my front door, just waiting. And then I'm looking at him, I'm like, what the hell? Who the hell is this guy? And he tries unlocking the door. Thankfully, it was locked. Sometimes I leave my doors unlocked. I don't know why. I forget. But it was locked. And dude, if I left it unlocked, because I do all the time, if I would have left it unlocked, he would have went into my house. And I don't know. But here's the craziest part of the story. I see him, so I end up calling the cops. And then he ends up running away. Like, he ends up like walking away. He doesn't see me. He ends up walking away and I never see him. And then I call the cops. I'm like, there was a random guy in like neon green shirt just trying to get into my house. And they're like, okay, yeah, we got other reports. People have called. He was trying to get into other people's houses in my neighborhood too. But then the next day I found out that he successfully got into somebody's house. One of my neighbors, he actually went into their house because he was trying everybody's doors and every single door was locked. He actually successfully got into somebody's house in my neighborhood. And guess what happened? He went into their house, right? And he went into their kitchen and he started eating. He started getting like milk and fruit and like food all out. And the story that I heard was that somebody woke up because they heard somebody in their kitchen. So like, who the hell? Like, is it my son? Is it somebody? So they go to their kitchen to see who's eating food at 4:14 a.m. And they see the guy just eating their food. And then he says, hey, mom. What? So the person who found him was a girl. And he looks at this guy was like a 35-year-old man. He looks at the person. He's like, hey, mom, while eating their food in their kitchen at 4 a.m. That's insane. Make sure y'all keep your doors locked.
Walter Hickox is a homeowner in Daytona Beach, Florida. His home dogs suddenly start running to the left side of the camera. And that's when Walter realizes they were looking at a black bear.
A bear?
The bear climbs over a protective railing as it goes for the dogs. With barely any time to process what he was seeing.
Bro, this dude's a badass!
At the bear as it goes for
he sees a bear coming into his porch.
His dogs.
He just starts...
He manages to push it back before he shoves a nearby chair in the doorway, preventing it from attacking again.
Wow.
He yells out that he was attacked by a bear as he brings his dogs back inside.
Imagine hearing that, bro. It's like the middle of the night, you're taking your dogs out, and then you hear somebody saying, I just got attacked by a bear. I'd be like, boy, what the fuck? Are you tweaking? Go to bed. What are you playing, Ark Survival?
When I had time to just sit and just stare, it all hit me, and I started bawling. I couldn't believe how close to death I was, and I did it for my dogs.
Even your dogs, bro. Even the dogs, because look, it looks like the bear was trying to get the dogs.
His dogs didn't receive any injuries.
Wow. That dude's a beast, I ain't gonna lie.
This homeowner in Texas got a knock at their door for a DoorDash delivery around 1:20 in the morning.
DoorDash?
Only the homeowner hadn't ordered DoorDash. She was sleeping.
Huh? Somebody showed up to her door with DoorDash, food delivery, at 1 a.m., but she didn't even order DoorDash. This
was only her and her nephew in the home.
Oh.
But when no one answered...
So they had this girl act like they were doing a delivery, right? Those 4 guys, once somebody opened the door and were like, oh, I didn't get delivered, they were going to run through, push through the house. Oh my.
They resorted to trying the backyard while the fake DoorDash deliverer stayed out front as a distraction.
Wow. Oh my
However,
God.
unfortunately, the men would be unsuccessful and are shown running away from the house on the backyard camera.
Just tripping, bro. Y'all are so
The 4 men
desperate.
and the woman at the front door were all seen leaving the area together in a dark-colored sedan.
Yep, she was in on it.
They were never caught by police.
What, bro? I mean, I guess you don't have a good angle of her face, but bro. They definitely probably did this to a different house and succeeded, bro. Y'all are so desperate, bro. Like, find a way to make your own money, bro. Find a way to get a job or something, dude. You don't gotta rob people, dude. Do something. You're so desperate. Lame.
In June of 2019, multiple homes in Chicago got a visit from a man claiming to be an investigator known as Jeff Rushmore. The only problem is that man doesn't exist.
What?
He was impersonating an investigator with the local police department, fully equipped with a fake uniform, a fake badge, and fake police radio chatter. This Ring camera caught him performing the act.
What? Acting like a policeman?
Can you open the door? 26, I got you en route. Hill Park, District 821, gonna be the 6th person. 900.
Okay, low key, if I saw this guy outside my house, I would probably open the door because he's got his badge right here and you hear the police chatter on his little walkie-talkie. I'd probably open the door. Damn. Oh, I probably would have died.
video cuts out there. The man explains a missing person case, and when the homeowner says he doesn't know anything about it, the interaction ends. The motives behind him impersonating an investigator are unknown. Often there are cases like this where the man is simply trying to get people to open their door thinking they're safe, but proceed to rob them, or sometimes worse.
Yeah.
However,
I mean, you act like a cop, and then you tell someone to open their door, and you can just run in and like punch them and go through their...
He doesn't do this. No one knows his motives. One commenter said, "I honestly believe he was testing the waters, and as he felt more confident, he would have escalated from getting people to open their door to entering into people's homes to only God knows what next." According to recent documents, the man was never identified.
He was never identified, so he's probably doing this stuff to this day. I mean, think about it, bro. He successfully got somebody to open their door, saying like, "Oh, you know, police, I'm an investigator with the police department or whatever, and you know, one of your neighbors is missing or whatever." What if he pulled up to like an elderly old lady's house and she was just like, "Oh, okay, Sonny, I'll talk to you about the missing persons report." And let's say this old lady invites him into her house. Boom! Free reign! Ah! Dude, these people are getting too smart, bro. We got to capture this guy. This little stupid... Whenever he started talking, I really wanted to laugh because he sounds like a little chump. Like, "Hey, I'm John Winthrop with the police department." Bro, they ain't gonna hire your little twerp ass. Their house down. That is not what I expected.
An expert in abusive relationships responded with, "Abusive relationships are about power and control. And when that power and control is taken away or it's minimized, then what we see is those efforts are escalating to try and get them back." Police are currently looking for the homeowner's ex-boyfriend seen in the video.
They're still looking for him? They're still looking for him? Oh my God.
This happened in April of 2023 in a wooded section of Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville, North Carolina. That's a nice place.
The homeowner of this house got a notification saying motion was detected at her front door.
Multiple bears?
She opened the app on her phone and saw 3 bears on her front porch. They were tearing open a package that had recently been delivered.
Bro, these bears are tearing into an Amazon package. That's so annoying, bro. What if you get like a brand new PlayStation controller and they just be eating that shit?
Inside the package was dog food.
It's weird, bro. Make sure y'all always keep y'all doors locked. If y'all want me to react to some more disturbing things, let me know. Try not to get scared. Peace out. What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to 10 terrifying dashcam moments caught on camera. Look at this. This freaking semi-truck is about to flatten this car on the highway. We're gonna see a ton of crazy moments caught on cameras that people had in their car. This is gonna be insane. Try not to get scared. Try not to laugh. Whatever this is, let's go.
Who fell asleep and flipped his wrist.
Damn!
And an underground explosion in China that sent dozens of manhole covers flying into the air.
This is why I'm never going to China, bro.
Lancashire, England.
I'm never going to China.
This compact car onto its side.
What the hell?
And a Russian crane operator who must have forgotten the meaning of low clearance.
Oh!
Here are 10 more terrifying moments caught on dash
He's saying
cam.
subscribe to him. Y'all can subscribe to him if you want. Subscribe to me if you want. Who cares? I don't really care. Let's go. Number 10.
Lancaster, England is a small city in Lancashire. It's home to about 55,000 people, including one of the calmest car crash victims you'll ever meet. It was early January of 2016. Christopher Telford was heading home in his 3-door Toyota Yaris when he decided to test
Did he just say 3-door? This car has 3 doors? Toyota Yaris. Nice.
out his new head-mounted camera. To him, the gorgeous English countryside would make the perfect first video. Little did he know, he was about to capture the closest call of his life.
So this isn't even a dash cam. This is somebody recording. He was trying to record his brand new car. It seems like he's going pretty fast. I don't know. It says right down here, there's no serious injuries. Oh yeah, by the way, YouTube, nobody died, nobody got hurt in this video. This is all fake, so don't delete me, okay? Oh God. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, nobody was hurt. Whoa. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt.
Scary.
He said that was scary.
Dear. I'm uninjured. I'm uninjured.
He's uninjured.
Let me. Not sorry. Okay, no anger. No anger. Let's just. Oh, sorry. Let's just take this calmly.
Now that might
This
be
guy's a beast. He was like, don't be angry. Don't be angry. Let's be calm. Even though he was the one who flipped over. Normally people in his situation would be like, ah! I like this guy.
most British reaction to something we have ever seen. According to Christopher, he was traveling around 60 miles per hour, which abided by the posted speed limit. As he topped the blind hill, he saw the BMW trying to pass someone in the opposite lane. But instead of slowing down, the BMW seemed to speed up, trying to beat Christopher's
If I'm
Toyota.
being honest, I wouldn't have crashed right here.
Understandably,
Like,
Christopher panicked and slammed his
I would've
brakes,
been like, oh,
only for them
snap.
to lock up and send his car into a slide.
Oh,
he turned
okay.
left, hit the wall, and wound up on his
so
side
that's what
moments
happened.
later.
So he hit the brakes. So then when he turned a little bit, the car just boom. Okay.
Luckily,
okay.
his compact car absorbed the brunt of the damage. He only
Look at
walked
him.
away.
This guy's
Luckily,
badass. Look
his
at him in the
compact
mirror
car
while he's flipped
absorbed
over.
the
Look. He's like,
brunt of the
bro,
damage.
what's going on?
He only walked
didn't
away
give a
with
damn.
minor bumps, scrapes, and bruises. Police handled things with the BMW driver, and Christopher enjoyed a laugh and a spot of tea with one of his neighbors.
Dude, that's awesome. All right, number 9. We're going to see some crazy stuff. Caught on camera.
Anshan, China is a prefecture-level city in southeastern Liaoning.
Of course this is in China, bro.
It's home to about 3.3 million people.
I'm never
all
going
of
to China.
whom rely on the same sewage system to get rid of their, shall we say, undesirable.
Wait, this whole city in China relies on the same sewage system. So every time somebody takes a poop or pees, it goes into the same thing, the whole city?
As you can imagine.
See, I
plenty
told you
of
I'm not going to
methane
China.
gas
Like,
lurks
y'all
beneath
always
the
comment and say,
streets.
why do you hate
On
China?
August 17th
Look,
of
it smells like
2024, a local man was driving along when all that
What type of car is that? See, this is why I'm not going to China, bro. This is a circle.
allegedly exploded underground. Lucky for us, his dash cam was rolling and captured the whole thing. Keep your eye on the trees lining the right side
All
of
right,
the
look
road.
at the trees.
Everything seems normal until boom! An underground
What
explosion
the
sends dozens
hell?
of manhole covers flying into the air.
And the reason he was talking about the poop and sewage system is because this is connected to the poop system. So it shot up a bunch of poop. Oh.
Smoke, debris, and God knows what billow up from the openings. We cannot begin to imagine how bad it must have smelled. But this is only the beginning of their problems. Seconds after the explosion, manhole covers begin raining down on the cars. Watch how close this one comes to hitting the white car. It bounces like
that's like a freaking Oreo cracker, dude. That thing looks like a humongous
150-pound basketball and lands safe.
What the hell is he talking about? Basketball? I did not see no basketball.
On the other side.
The hell?
Imagine if it landed on their roof. Cell phone footage of the immediate aftermath shows how much damage the explosion actually caused.
Damn. That is the road. Wow, I bet there was a lot of traffic after that. Y'all gonna have to get out and start walking. Why are they still driving? What the hell are they saying? Dude, they should make something that like translates instantly. Like YouTube in like 5 years is probably gonna have something that translates all voices. Because look, if I turn on the caption, it don't even pick it up. They don't
According
even
to local officials, nobody was hurt during the blast. They
Hopefully.
aren't giving any direct answers
Not.
about what caused the explosion. However, methane buildup seems to be the most plausible scenario. Some have even suggested
goofy
methane
ass
buildup
bus!
seems to
You
be
see
the
that?
most plausible scenario.
Why does this bus have ears? What the fu- I'm never going to China. All right, number 8.
All 50 U.S. states have move-over laws. These require drivers to slow down and change lanes whenever they see an emergency.
I just did that. I was just eating dinner and there was a car parked on the side of the road, so I had to move over. I just did that.
Such as a fire truck, cop car, or ambulance pulled over on the shoulder. Unfortunately, many American drivers are unaware of these laws and how they keep emergency workers safe.
Okay.
On January 18th of 2024, Oklahoma State Trooper Jesse Gregory became the poster boy for move-over laws. He was conducting a routine traffic stop on the side of
man.
I-40
Someone's
when,
gonna
all
hit
of a
it.
sudden, his life flashed before his eyes. By an absolute miracle,
Nobody was
Trooper
hurt.
Gregory walked away from the accident with only minor injuries.
No
Both
injuries.
drivers were also okay and were released from the hospital that day. Trooper Gregory thanked God for saving his life. When asked if he had a message for other drivers,
Look at this.
he said, "When you see
Boom,
us,
nobody
please
was hurt.
slow down."
Nobody was hurt, by the way.
To another highway patrol officer in Utah. Only this time, it involved 2 semi-trucks.
What?
One of which was carrying about 1,000 pounds of eggs. It was March 2nd
God, dude, I bet his boss was so mad. He crashed with a bunch of food.
2022. Our Utah trooper had just pulled over a semi-truck on I-80 for, ironically, move-over violations. This officer is lucky he approached
Look at all
from the
those
passenger
eggs.
side. Had he gone around to the driver, well...
Dude, did some of them turn into birds? Did I just see some birds flying?
He approached from the passenger
Holy
side.
cow,
Had he gone around to the driver...
Good thing nobody
well,
ate those
he'd
eggs.
rather not think about it.
Imagine you crack open an egg and a little bird comes out. What the hell? Oh man, this is the live footage of the crash where nobody was hurt, by the way. This is GTA 5.
1050 my location.
Nobody was hurt.
36, we have a 1050 rollover, semi blocking both lanes. Expedite.
This
fire.
is GTA 6.
Shut down.
YouTube. Dude, look at all them eggs. I would have taken them. Oh my God.
Copy. Can you advise 173 if he's not aware already?
Dude, that's traffic. The traffic was...
173, do you copy?
Nobody was hurt.
I copy. I'm in route.
12436, semi is in the median. It is on fire, and we have small explosions going off.
10-4.
Semi appears to have been transporting eggs.
Yeah,
Thankfully, everyone involved lived to tell the tale. The
Wow.
truckers he initially pulled over were okay, and the egg truck driver walked away with a few bumps and bruises. As for the people in the black
Stop the
SUV,
cap.
they suffered some significant injuries.
No, they didn't.
But were treated at a Salt Lake Valley hospital.
They were good.
This clip and the one before are exactly why you should move over for
Hell
emergency
no, bro. He did
vehicles.
not just say exactly. Oh my God, so cringe. All right, number 7. Let's get rid of the cringe.
China is no stranger to rock slides. From an overworked Malaysian truck driver,
All
China
right.
is no
I guess we'll-
stranger to rock slides
China's
and
crazy, bro.
landslides.
All right.
The mountainous terrain and subtropical climate means one
Look at
can
that. That's just like Dookie, dude. Who wants to go there?
strike anywhere at any time. The people are used to it and can typically recognize the signs, but that doesn't mean one won't catch them off guard. It was August 20th of 2023. Locals outside Ya'an, China, a prefecture-level city in Sichuan province, were driving along a winding road when the rocks began falling. Our driver was lucky enough to avoid the landslide, but we can't say the same for the people in the blue car.
Nobody died, YouTube.
Let's see that one more time in slow
Dude,
motion. The
look at
initial
that.
landslide
All
blocked
of
the
the
blue
land
car and stopped it from escaping. However, our driver turns before we see the
gosh.
second. Judging by the aftermath, we can only assume that something massive landed on the blue car's roof.
Nobody was hurt, by the way. I'm skipping this. I don't like China. Number 6. Come on, no China.
Sarov, Russia is a closed town, meaning that people coming and going need explicit permission from local authorities.
Wait, what? It's a closed town, which means if you go there, you need permission to go, and if you leave, you need permission to leave? Dude, I didn't know there was such thing as a closed town. That is sick.
These towns typically house sensitive military assets or secret research projects the Russian government wants to keep under tight control.
wow.
In the case of Sarov, it acts as Russia's center for nuclear research.
Dude, what
now,
the
people
heck?
in a nuclear research town are typically smart enough to understand low clearance signs. This crane driver was not one of those people. On April 29th of 2019, he nearly took out a passing
2019, that
driver
was
when
like
his
6
crane arm
years ago,
destroyed an
bro.
overhead structure. Lucky for us, that driver caught the whole thing on his dash cam.
Are you kidding me, bro? Are you dumb? Dude, that thing almost hit the car, bro. Oh my gosh. Dude, that's like a friggin'...
Luckily, the structure missed our driver's car by a few feet. Looking closely at the truck, you can see where the red crate prevented the crane arm from coming down. Someone must have gotten lazy and loaded this shipment onto the wrong truck. Before it left, that person likely shrugged and
So
said,
stupid.
"What could possibly go wrong?"
His ass got fired. Number 5.
On April 3rd of 2024, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck south of Hualien City in Taiwan. It was
Oh, I
the
was about to
strongest
say.
quake to hit the island since the 1999 Gigi earthquake and produced several aftershocks measuring above 6.0 in magnitude. The tremor left a few buildings leaning at precarious angles.
That's weird.
One of those structures was a
Dude,
30-year-old
are people
building that
inside
housed
that-
several apartments and a breakfast bar on the ground floor.
Okay,
Happy
that's
Moments
definitely-
Cafe was a hot spot for coffee and a quick morning bite. It was busy the morning the earthquake struck.
Somebody
Those
caught the
inside
earthquake
owe
on
the owner
camera.
their lives.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. Dude, everybody ran out of that cafe. What if you were like, bro, that's all right. It don't matter. Earthquake ain't gonna hurt nobody eating your eggs. Whole building falls off.
Those on the ground floor may have escaped, but several families were still trapped in the apartments
That's
above.
kind of cool, being trapped in an apartment that's tilted. It's like your whole house, but just this way now. Like, your TV would be like over here. Like, that's kind of cool. I always imagined as a kid, like, what if you could walk on the ceiling? Like, so sometimes I would like lay down, right? I would lay down upside down, and I'd be like, what if I was walking on the ceiling? Like, what if I had to walk through the door, over the door? Like, what if my house was upside down? That'd be so sick. These people actually lived that reality. Say goodbye to your restaurant. That sucks. Yeah, brunch. Yeah, brunch. Yeah, not anymore. More like crunch. That thing is literally crunch. You are done. Wait, why do they have English right there? They speak English in Taiwan?
Now let's rewind and watch how close these people came to being flattened like pancakes.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
According to reports, the owner
pancakes,
sprung
that's
into
funny.
action when the ground began shaking. He ushered 17 people out the door, with the last one stumbling out about 2 seconds before the building collapsed.
Wow.
Thanks to the owner's quick thinking, nobody inside
That
the
kid has no idea what just happened.
was hurt. Unfortunately, his business was a total loss, as were many others affected by the April earthquake.
Wow. You just... Number 4!
The following video from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia should serve as a gentle reminder to always wear your helmet. You may be the best biker in the world, but you still can't predict the behavior of others.
Right.
It was November 3rd of 2021. Traffic was moving steadily along the
2021.
Cyberjaya Expressway
like
in
5
Kuala
years
Lumpur,
ago.
Malaysia's largest city. A local man was driving along when a semi-truck pulled ahead of him. It was impossible not to
The hell
notice
is
the
that?
loose-fitting tarp. Was this real life or a scene from Final Destination? Judging by what happened next, we're leaning toward the latter. Forget about the first scooter rider you see. He makes it safely around the truck and drives off, blissfully unaware of the danger he just avoided. A few moments later, another scooter carrying 2
Damn.
people approaches and tails behind the semi.
You gotta get
Meanwhile,
away
the
from him.
tarp blows like Batman's cape in the wind. It
Whoa!
comes loose, wraps around them, and blinds the driver. They veer left,
Whoa!
and the driver tries to course correct, but it's too late. The scooter falls, and both riders slide on the pavement. Thankfully, their helmets prevented them from suffering a significant brain injury. Bikers
Right,
and
they're
scooter
okay.
riders, listen up. Always wear your protective
Nobody got hurt.
gear.
See, they're okay.
You never know.
Dude, that is insane. This tarp
2 people approaches and
falls
tails
off
behind
this
the
freak.
semi.
Imagine you're
Meanwhile,
driving.
the tarp
And then
blows
you just get like
Batman's
a
cape in the
blanket.
wind.
But
It
instead of
comes
it being
loose,
around you, it's
wraps
around your
them,
head.
and
It's like
blinds the
instantly a black screen, dude. What the?
They
It's like you got
veer to where you're
flashbanged. All right, number 3.
On August 29th of 2021, Hurricane Ida made landfall in southern Louisiana.
Dude.
The Category 4 storm was among the
I just moved
strongest
to
and
North Carolina. That's why you guys see like a new room or whatever. Dude, North Carolina, where I'm at, has hurricanes. So if there's ever a hurricane, we're gonna do crazy vlogs. My house might look like that. That would be crazy.
most destructive hurricanes to hit the U.S. since Katrina. Ironically, it happened on the same day as Katrina, only 16 years later. Powerful winds and torrential rains battered the Louisiana coast. Authorities issued evacuation orders, with some people retreating to sturdy parking garages to weather the storm. That's where this Kia
Bad
driver
idea.
found himself as Ida made landfall. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to venture out to
he
see if it was
doing?
as bad as they were saying. Spoiler
Looks
alert,
bad.
it was. He should have taken that near miss as a sign from the Almighty. Turn
kept
around,
going?
Mr. Kia driver. Things are about to go from bad to worse.
No way, bro. His car's getting moved. Oh my god, that's water.
No.
Bro, what are you doing? Somebody's calling him. He's listening to music. I'm gonna have to turn this down. I might get a copyright strike. Bro, you can't even see where you're going, dog. Dude, them windshield wipers ain't doing anything. Get out. This dude's getting a free car wash. What are you doing? I mean, if you get out of the car, you're getting pummeled anyway. I think the car might be the safest place. Dude, hurricanes are not a joke. This is actually preparing me for if North Carolina gets a hurricane. Dude, I'm not going to be driving like this. I'm going to be
Our driver made it a few
driving
more
something
feet
else.
before his Kia began floating. At this point, he could only pray he didn't get washed out to sea. Unfortunately, the video ends before we learn his fate. Luckily, he survived the ordeal after making it to a nearby garage. He remained there for 3 hours as 100-mile-per-hour winds smashed the walls and ripped off the garage door. That's when he saw a pair of headlights coming and was able to flag down the driver. They were likely driving a heavy-duty truck better equipped to handle rough conditions. In the end, our Kia driver learned why we say curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah! Number 2!
Shah Alam, Malaysia, which roughly translates to ruler of the universe, is a bustling city and the capital of Selangor State. It's home to about 740,000 people and a sleepy truck driver who could use a day off. To get through his long shifts, this 33-year-old driver relies on a popular recreational drug called yaba. It's essentially the Southeast Asian equivalent of methamphetamine. When the drug kicks in, users feel a burst of energy and euphoria. When it wears off, they tend to crash and burn, literally.
This is from the thumbnail. Whoa! Oh my god, he saved it. Okay. Nobody was hurt. This is GTA 8. Dude, when do y'all think GTA 8's gonna come out? Like 2058? That's a good guess. It might come out in 2058.
When police arrived, they determined that the driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. However, they know how popular yaba is.
What the hell was he doing in his dream to fall asleep and then have this happen? What are you dreaming about? Just. All right, we got a bonus clip right here before number 1. This is cool. Awesome.
Dongguan, China is a
All right,
prefecture.
I'm not watching that. All right, number 1. Let's go.
Have you ever looked at a decrepit house and thought, yep, that thing's bound to collapse?
Wow.
Well, that's what these Russian people were thinking as they drove by a rundown building off the side of a busy street. It was December 13th of 2021.
Saratov.
Traffic was moving steadily in Saratov, the largest
Saratov,
city within
okay.
the Saratov Oblast. One local man had his
Oblast.
dash cam rolling when he passed one
Bro,
of the
they got Uber in Russia, dude. Uber is so cool.
those old ruined buildings. What happened next shouldn't have come as a surprise
What the hell does that stop sign say? Seaton. Seaton. What does that mean?
to anyone.
That building just fell over. That is so cool. Nobody was hurt. Nobody's in that car right there, YouTube. Dude.
It seems like the white car bore the brunt of the collapse. Several people, including our driver and passenger, walked over to help. They opened the door and pulled the driver out of the car. Hopefully, they weren't banged up too badly.
They
Now
weren't.
let's rewind to moments before the collapse. Look at how close these two people came to getting flattened. Imagine if they were wearing headphones or just not paying attention. Nobody
Dude,
would have
I'm never
emerged
wearing
from under
headphones
that rubble
again.
alive. It's unclear why that building was.
Dude, why does this building have a RE6HUYA? What type of business is called Russikhoya. Dude, I'm never going to Russia again. What the? I've never been there, but I'm never going there ever.
What's up, dummy? So I was just on YouTube and I saw this video. It says 5 most disturbing YouTube rabbit holes. Now, if you don't know what a YouTube rabbit hole is, it's basically like something that looks normal at first, but then you dive deeper into it and it gets scarier and scarier and creepier and creepier. We're about to watch some of the most disturbing things found on YouTube. This thumbnail looks creepy. There's a picture of a girl, like a Chinese girl. There's a picture, a creepy picture, a bunch of weird comments. Let's check this out. 2 million views. This is gonna be good. Anuncio.
Back in 2019, a user named Raul made a disturbing post that would go on to be shared over 20,000 times and receive tens of thousands of likes and reactions.
Okay.
The post was originally made in Spanish, so you'll have to bear with me if the translation isn't perfect, but hopefully you'll get the main idea. The post was titled Anuncio Inteligente, which translates from Spanish to smart ad, and it read, "Something super strange just happened to me. I was watching YouTube videos on my smart TV when suddenly an ad appeared, as usually happens on YouTube.
Okay.
I was about to skip it when I suddenly saw this ad lasted more than 5 hours.
What?
I was really surprised and told my dad to come so he could see how long it lasted. I took a picture while I waited for my dad to arrive. The girl in the ad kept on talking, and when my dad arrived, she turned her gaze toward him. Even my dad jokingly said that she was watching him. My dad and I stood in front of the TV, the girl fell silent, and we felt like she was looking at both of us."
What? This guy, okay, I'm not gonna pause the video anymore, but this guy said he was watching YouTube and a 5-hour ad popped up randomly and this girl was just talking. So he invited his dad in the room and then she started looking at his dad and she stopped talking. That is so creepy, bro. What the hell?
Kept thinking it was impossible for her to see us. It wasn't a video call or anything like that.
Right.
It was just a simple YouTube ad.
Yeah, there's no way.
It was simply impossible for her to see us. We laughed at how silly it all sounded. The girl kept on talking, but suddenly she got closer to the screen and we started to feel a bit scared and uncomfortable.
What?
My dad wanted to test if she was watching us, so he said the word Changa a few times. And that's when the unthinkable happened. The Asian girl said Changa.
No!
At that moment, we got scared and I looked for the remote to skip the ad.
What? This is a 5-hour and 47-second ad of this Chinese girl just looking. See, I don't like China, okay? I'm not like rude against Chinese people. There's just something about China I don't like. I will never step foot in China, and this is another reason why. This just adds to my ever-growing list. But dude, 5-hour ad. This girl's just staring at them in the ad. Not even selling anything, not even like saying, "Oh, go download this game" or whatever. She's just looking at you. And then the dad says, "Changa, Changa, Changa." And the girl in the ad says, "Changa." She's watching them through the TV, dude.
My dad and I decided that we were very tired. It had been a long and tiring day, but we still couldn't ignore what had happened, so we turned off the TV. My questions are, what the heck just happened? Do TVs have cameras? If so, then I think it's possible for them to watch you. And lastly, was YouTube hacked? This incident scared both my dad and me.
It could have been hacked.
If anyone has gone through something like this, I'd like to hear your story. This was mine.
Oh my god.
Although the original post has since been deleted, it's been reposted a few times by Mexican broadcasting networks on Facebook, which has allowed a few YouTubers and Redditors to keep the story alive for 5 years as of the uploading of this video. From the moment it was uploaded, the post received pretty much every kind of reaction you can imagine, from those who called Raul out for lying on the internet to get attention, to those who claimed they had been through something similar, and everything in between. As for whether the post was real or not, 5 years after the original upload, it's still anyone's guess. I mean, it's not uncommon for people to place 2 to 3 hour long ads on YouTube. As for how effective these ads are at converting viewers into buyers, I can't really say, but the fact remains that it's technically possible Raul really did see a 5 hour long YouTube ad back in 2019.
For a steak?
One thing that many Reddit users are quick to point out, however, is that YouTube ads need to be uploaded in a specific format to be accepted and rolled out by the platform.
Okay.
And it goes without saying that a 5 hour long live call where the creator of the ad spies on the viewer and interacts with them would violate pretty much every single law and regulation out there. Still, that in itself is probably not enough information to officially label Raul's post as fake, as he was apparently not the only person who complained about this kind of thing happening to him that year.
Other people had it happen to them?
Through my research, I found several Redditors who pointed out that they had seen similar posts by other users on Reddit crop up sporadically in 2019, where people claimed they had been shown an unusually long ad that appeared to interact with them in real time.
So, this guy wasn't the only person that had a very weird, like, spying on them ad happen on YouTube.
If the allegations are true, it's possible that what happened to Raul could have been a part of a massive hacking epidemic targeting smart TVs rather than YouTube itself, which the hacking of smart TVs isn't that uncommon.
Bro, so instead of like this being a normal ad, somebody like that girl possibly hacked into his smart TV and played her ad so she can spy.
It's actually not that hard for a hacker to gain access to your smart TV's microphone and camera through certain malware, which is why if you look deep enough online, you'll find literally hundreds of complaints by users who claimed they were spied on through their smart TVs.
What?
Disturbingly, some users have even mentioned that hackers have blackmailed them through their smart TV, threatening to expose private footage of them to the world if they don't comply with their demands.
What?
But coming back to the smart ad story, this also doesn't necessarily mean that the post was real, and to this day, hundreds of Redditors have assumed that Raul was probably just straight up lying for clicks and attention.
I don't think he's lying.
Because the post and so many of the original comments have been deleted, we'll likely never know.
So he deleted his post, which is weird. But I honestly believe this. Why would somebody make up a post saying that there was this girl talking to them through an ad? And like, I don't know why you'd make that up. It's not like he's getting paid for this. Now, maybe if he was getting paid to lie, then yeah. But why would someone just lie for fun? Like, come on. That is creepy as hell. I don't like that woman. I am scared of smart TVs now. All right, let's see the next one. Do what?
Portishead is a trip-hop band from Bristol, UK that was formed back in the 90s. Some of their music videos on YouTube have gone pretty viral, with one of them even getting close to 40 million views since it was uploaded in 2016.
This is a band.
But over the years, there's been one particular music video that's become the subject of a ton of speculation and drama on YouTube and Reddit, and probably not for the reasons you might think. The music video in question is for the song titled Only You, and at first glance, there's nothing too different than what you'd probably expect from a band of this genre. But if you scroll down far enough into the comments section, you'll find something a little strange. A user named DoWhat made thousands upon thousands of comments on this single video over several months, starting in December 2018. Sometimes DoWhat would comment hundreds of times in a single day. What immediately comes off as weird is that most of the user's comments appear to be random, angry rants directed toward a particular person or group of people. Sometimes it even looks like he's having a long, drawn-out conversation with himself through a YouTube comment section. I can't include some of the comments because they get pretty explicit, but you can probably get the idea just by looking at a few of them. One of them reads, "Heaven, yeah sure, and yet you still left me here. Well, you won't be going back, and I sure as hell won't take you there."
Who is this guy talking to? This DoWhat guy has posted thousands of comments.
Another one reads, "Nothing you say or have said means a damn thing when you spoiled evil demons live the way you do, period."
Who is this guy talking to, bro? This is creepy. I've never heard of a case where somebody's just commenting on a random YouTube video over and over and over the span of years. What?
At first, none of the comments seemed to make any sense, but after reading a lot of them, I realized there was a pattern. Although a lot of the angry rants are pretty vague, and a lot of them DoWhat appears to be directing his or her anger toward the band and the music video itself, often claiming that the whole idea behind the songs and videos that made the band rich were stolen from DoWhat, who allegedly ended up getting no credit at all. Again, I can't include those due to the language, but some have suggested that this is the main reason why the user chose this particular video to dump thousands and thousands of angry comments on. As you can probably guess, a lot of people have tried to interact with DoWhat over the years, leading to some pretty disturbing conversations in which the commenter claims he's some sort of interdimensional being with the ability to speak to people on different timelines, or something like that. Even though most of his comments are pretty difficult to understand, in a few of them, DoWhat has repeatedly claimed to be a female living in a homeless shelter and to be receiving messages from some sort of godlike creature who is guiding her to save humanity from destruction, or something.
What?
Due to how often DoWhat was posting back in 2018 and 2019, many people have suggested that the only way it's possible for so many comments to be coming from a single account is if DoWhat was a bot. But others have claimed that because DoWhat has edited their comments, the bot theory might not be the answer. As hard as it is to believe, everything seems to point to the fact that every single one of these comments was written individually by a real person, which has made a lot of people suggest that the user might be suffering from a pretty severe mental illness.
Yeah, dude, commenting on the same YouTube video over and over with a bunch of random stuff, talking to yourself like, look at this. What the F is that? House, yes, babies, no. Bah, wah, wah, hell it is. Good luck proving that. I'm a chick, you know. Yeah, for 40 years of your lives already, why believe that one? What is this kid talking about?
or was simply looking for attention online and willing to go to extreme lengths to get it.
There's no way this person commented all this to get attention online. There's way easier ways to get attention. Post a picture of you, like, you know, pouring milk all over your head. You'll get a ton of attention. Why would you go to a random YouTube video and comment a bunch of thousands and thousands of comments over the span of 5 and 10 years? There's something wrong with this person.
Why, we don't know. Other people have speculated that the whole Do What mess was perhaps the band Portishead's attempt to bring more attention to their music video through an alternate reality game or ARG. But because Do What started posting comments on the video more than 3 years after it was uploaded, this is pretty unlikely.
The music video was uploaded 9 years ago. The Do What person started commenting 5 years ago. Why would they wait? No, this is a deranged, crazy person who is talking to who's talking to themselves.
If this
in
was an
YouTube
ARG, then it's brilliant because obviously it did its job. After posting threads upon threads of aggressive, rambling comments, Do What's original account was taken down a few months later.
No!
In the comment section on Portishead's video, it didn't get any less strange after that. Shortly after Do What went quiet, other accounts started cropping up and posting a ton of angry comments in the same tone and style as Do What. But because most of them only posted 20 to 30 times in total, whereas Do What usually posted a few dozen times a day, it's likely that these new accounts were just copycats trying to get attention.
People are acting like
a couple of the newer
what?
accounts though, namely Tracy-PV5CL and MedWhatever5413, are suspected to belong to the original Do What. Still, after so many years and so many comments, it's unlikely we'll find a solid answer to what the purpose of all this is.
So this Do What person made another account when their account got deleted?
In 2015, a channel by the name of Obscure Horror Corner uploaded a series of videos featuring a playthrough of a horror game called Sad Satan that up until that point was never heard of before. The game itself is very strange, with a first-person character walking down dark, narrow hallways while some distorted audio plays in the background.
That does look like a creepy game.
At random points throughout the game, the player's screen gets invaded by random images, and overall it's a pretty dark and hard to understand game.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's
In the months
creepy.
following the original uploads, the videos started gaining quite a bit of popularity until eventually the blog and gaming reviews website Kotaku decided to interview the owner of the Obscure Horror Corner channel. In the interview, the channel owner mentioned that he first came across the game when an anonymous user provided him with a download link, which had allegedly come from the dark web.
Okay.
Shortly after, the owner of the Obscure Horror Corner's YouTube channel provided the download link to the Sad Satan game in a Reddit thread. However, several Redditors immediately called him out for providing a fake link, after which he claimed he gave away a fake link because he didn't want to be responsible for the real game being played by anyone, as it supposedly contained some very violent, dark, illegal, and disturbing images. While this was all happening, an anonymous 4chan user claiming to be the guy who gave the original Sad Satan link to Obscure Horror Corner revealed what he claimed was the original download link on the post. Disturbingly, this version of the game was stuffed with illegal, graphic content, gruesome gore, and viruses that allegedly made people's computers behave oddly and eventually crash permanently.
What?
Unfortunately, many users fell into the trap and apparently messed up their computers beyond repair.
Somebody made a game that has gore and scary stuff and viruses that ruin your computer? Why would you even play that game?
After the two links were spread everywhere online, a lot of people were left wondering where the footage from Obscure Horror Corner's channel had even come from in the first place. The most widely accepted theory nowadays is that Obscure Horror Corner probably made the game himself to bring more attention to his channel, and that the 4chan user made a corrupted copy to distribute illegal graphic material and mess up people's computers for no reason.
That looks so creepy,
It goes
bro.
without saying that the illegal images the 4chan user included in the corrupted version of the game could have easily come from the dark web,
That's
as
so
they would quickly get
creepy,
taken
bro.
down if they were posted anywhere
Get that
on the
game,
surface
bro.
web.
I'm never playing
If you're
a
going
game
to go
like
searching
that.
around the internet for more information on this rabbit hole, all I can say is whatever you do not click on any download links on random online forums.
Dude, what? I played a ton of creepy games on my gaming channel. If you don't know, I have a gaming channel. DJ Hates Games. I play games all the time on that channel. I've played a lot of scary games, but I am not touching that game. That's creepy.
February 15, 1996.
What is this?
Back in the 90s, an American company named Space Systems Loral built a state-of-the-art telecommunications satellite named Intelsat 708, which contained some pretty sophisticated and sensitive communications and encryption technology.
Okay.
After it was built, the satellite was transported to China to be launched in 1996.
China, of course.
During the launch preparations, it was agreed between the US and Chinese governments that Intelsat 708 would be launched into orbit from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center using China's Long March 3B launch vehicle, which was one of the world's most powerful rockets back then.
Okay.
It was also agreed that the launch would be broadcast live in the US. Just a little before 3 a.m. on February 15th, 1996, the satellite was launched, and what happened next was nothing short of a tragedy.
How is this?
Just 2 seconds after the launch, the satellite started veering horizontally, taking a completely different trajectory than it was supposed to.
Oh man.
A few seconds later, the rocket crashed in a residential area where many of the launch center's employees and other civilians lived.
Oh my
Shockingly,
gosh.
the crash caused an explosion that was reported to be equivalent to around 50 tons of TNT. Immediately, the
What?
Chinese military and members of the L'Oreal security team were deployed to the crash site, and this is where things started to get a little weird.
What?
According to eyewitnesses, the Chinese military roped off the area immediately and didn't allow any Americans to approach the site until much later.
Huh?
In the aftermath of the crash, official figures in Chinese newspapers alleged that despite the massive explosion, only 6 people had died and 57 had been wounded, claiming that the death toll had been pretty limited because most of the people had been evacuated from the area before the launch. Still, based on the sheer amount of destruction, this death toll has always seemed unlikely to the US government, which suspected the Chinese military of cleaning out the crash site to hide the true death toll and to recover the satellite's sensitive encryption and communications technology. After American members of the L'Oreal security team were finally allowed to comb the crash site, many of them returned home complaining of bulging eyes and splitting headaches caused by the toxic fumes released by the explosion.
Wow.
Despite the large-scale impact of these events, it's one of the lesser-known tragedies, likely due to the massive cover-up by the Chinese government.
Yeah, why have I never heard about this? There was a rocket launch that happened between the US and China back then in like 1996. It veered off course and crashed into a bunch of people's houses. How have I never heard
One of the
about
only
this?
recordings left of it was uploaded to YouTube by a user named Fred V and has received only around 170,000 views since 2019. In the video, you can see the crazy amount of destruction caused by the crash in the village of Maolin, with both American and Chinese voices narrating the damage. Strangely, at the end of the footage, the entire video takes a weird turn where you can see a clip of a woman who says her name is Janet Ship, and that in order to help her viewers prepare for their trip to China, she's going to ask a few simple multiple choice questions.
Hello, my name is Janet Ship.
Okay, this is creepy already. I don't know why the hell this is creeping me out, but it is. Oh
In
God.
order to prepare you for your trip to China, we would like you to take this simple multiple choice quiz. Remember, there is only one correct answer for each question. Ready? Here we go.
What?
This is a picture of A, a
Deer.
creature found in nearby hills. B, dinner. C, a Hughes technician.
What?
These guys should score a point in horseshoes. A, in 30 to 40 minutes. B, when Mabuhay launches.
I searched pretty deep, but there doesn't seem to be any explanation online for the quiz at the end of the crash video.
Yeah, what?
It's all just a really weird combination of clips. I mean, it's pretty jarring to have such a shocking video end with a woman asking weird questions with happy music in the background, and your guess is as good as mine as to what the last part of this video is even about.
What?
Unfortunately, the comments were turned off for this video, and
my
not a lot of
gosh.
people know about it in the first place, so who knows if we'll ever find out why the video ends like that.
That's so weird. So this guy uploaded a video. Somebody named Fred V uploaded a video of that plane or the rocket crashing, and then at the end of the video, this lady pops up and starts asking you questions. What the hell? This has to be some sort of like Chinese government conspiracy that the Chinese government's covering up. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I don't like China, bro. I mentioned this before. I'm never going to China, dude. My God.
00390.
Oh my God.
00390 is an extremely strange YouTube channel that's been up since 2015.
I think I've seen this
Even
channel
the description
before.
in the channel's About section is a little unusual. The text is written in both English and Italian, and
This
it
is
reads,
creepy.
"Do not subscribe,
This is
you
creepy.
bother me. Do
I'm
not
happy
offer
this
me
is
money
here.
for
I need to see this."
affiliation or visualization or other. I am not interested. At best, offer me some typical food of your country."
What?
Below this text, there's another phrase that translates roughly from Italian to, "I like cold girls, but alive." Despite the
What?
owner's efforts to scare away subscribers, 00390 has over 50,000 subs as of 2024, and that number is
Wow.
probably only going to keep growing if he continues to upload disturbing, attention-grabbing content as he has up until now. The videos on the channel range from strange experimental art videos to first-person footage of a cameraman following a woman on the street to disturbing images of women being held hostages while creepy audio plays in the
Okay,
background
bro,
to
what is
gross
that?
cooking videos. Due to the creepy nature of so many of the uploaders' videos, many viewers have come together online to try to find an explanation for the channel, which has resulted in some pretty wild theories being spread all over the internet. According to one of the most popular ones, the channel's owner is a suspected serial kidnapper who drives around the street looking for potential victims, which would explain why there are dozens of videos on the channel where he appears to record women on the streets against their will, with some of them looking visibly frightened at the guy. Based on what I found, there isn't really a solid conclusion for the channel's meaning. It's possible that this is just the product of an artist expressing himself with some sort of ARG attempt. Or that there's really something more disturbing.
I didn't know YouTube was this creepy, bro. That was pretty creepy. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to when school bullies realize that they've been caught. Apparently, this was a bully, and he made someone, like, he caused somebody to die. This is gonna be a bunch of bullies that got caught for doing horrible things. Let's see.
Most parents send their kids to school assuming that they're safe. Little do they know that there are evil criminals lurking in the schools. Here are 5 times evil school kids realize they've been caught.
My name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school of 2018. My goal is at least 20 people.
What?
You're all going to...
This is Nicholas Cruz, a name that sends horrors through Florida. On February 14th, 2018, an unsuspecting Uber driver dropped an armed 19-year-old outside Parkland High School, who entered with a backpack and firearm case, walking purposely towards one of the buildings 20 minutes before dismissal. His terror went on inside the school. After 17 lives lost and 17 seriously injured, Nicholas fled the scene by blending in with the crowd and went to get some food and soda. An hour and 20 minutes passed, and these are the moments the evil suspect's rampage came to an end.
Bro, so this guy, like... this guy's like muting a bunch of his words because I think YouTube's like censoring, but he basically shot a school. You know, he brought his gun to school and did that, bro. And then he just blended in with everyone and went and got food. What?
What's going on? What's going on today, bro?
The demons, man.
Demons?
Voices.
Immediately, Nicholas acts confused and claims to hear voices, which was later found not to be true.
Voices and demons?
Where's the voices?
He tries to act this way, as claiming insanity will usually result in a lesser charge. However, the cops are not buying any of it.
Yeah, he's capping.
What the f***? Where the f*** am I? Holy sh**. What happened? Shut up.
He's lying.
Just be quiet, man.
He said shut up.
He fakes hyperventilating too, but this is all an act.
He's lying. He's lying, bro. This guy's creepy, bro.
Nicholas showed absolutely no mercy during his trial, and this footage from court shows him refusing to look or listen until a victim shows his wounds. Truly disturbing.
Wow.
Can you show it to us?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh. He's showing how he got hurt. Or whatever. But he survived. That's awesome.
After an overdue trial, Nicholas faced the death penalty. However, this was overturned to a life sentence without the possibility of parole. This case is truly horrifying and is documented in depth online.
They said that there was 3 girls that were on top of her, just beating the crap out of her.
This is Nex, a non-binary 16-year-old who faced repeated bullying at school. On February 7th, 2024, Nex was rushed.
Why have both of these cases been in February, bro? What's wrong with people in February? It's February right now.
To the hospital after being jumped by classmates. This is how Nex and the mother described the horrific incident.
So what happened today?
I got jumped.
Tell me about it. What happened?
She said these 3 girls there are just, they won't leave me alone. They're making comments, they're calling us names, they're throwing stuff at us, and this is an ISP. I'm like, well, who's over this place? I said, ignore it, Dabney. Get above it, you know, just ignore it.
Sure.
She did until she couldn't in the bathroom.
There were no cameras inside the bathroom, but you can see the teen at the water fountain who admitted to throwing water on some of the bullies after being made fun of. Next heads into the bathroom, and only 19 seconds later, a member of Stash rushes into the bathroom.
And they said that there was 3 girls that were on top of her, just beating the crap out of her.
After the incident, the school didn't want to contact police, despite the brutality of the attack.
Okay, so what are we doing about this? Oh, well, in a couple of days we'll talk about it. I said, no, I want something done.
Who said it in a couple of
The,
days?
the principal.
Okay.
Why are they saying that? I said, I think we need to have a police officer. It's assault.
It was only for the mother who got the police involved.
I've got my daughter, Dagny Benedict, at the hospital. She's a juvenile, and she has been attacked at school, and I need to get someone up here so I can file charges.
How many kids attacked her?
3. They jumped her in the bathroom.
Next describes what happened inside the bathroom.
When this first started happening, whatever this is going, this banter back and forth between you and the other individuals, did you at any point contact any school administration, whether it be counselor? Did you let any of them know at any point in time?
No.
Okay. And I'm just asking, there's no right or wrong, but why not?
I didn't really see the point in it. I told my mom though.
Sure.
No, before this we had no recollection. Before this ISP thing, we never saw each other. The freshmen were sophomore.
Okay.
We didn't know any.
Okay.
I don't know their names. I don't know.
Okay. So they just up and decided to just start messing with you.
I mean, I don't know how much I fully believe this because people don't just randomly start to bully someone. Like they bully someone like after like arguing, but I don't know.
The way that we dress.
Okay, so you didn't do anything at all at any point in time that would have, even a couple days ago or even a month ago or anything like that.
I don't know these girls.
Okay.
The fact the school refused to contact police is extremely fishy.
That's weird.
Especially due to the severity of the attack.
After we sat chairs, we went to the bathroom.
Okay.
And I was talking with my friends, they were talking with their friends, and we were laughing, and they had said something like, why do they laugh like that? And they were talking about us in front of us. And so I went up there and I poured water on them.
Okay.
And then all 3 of them came at me.
Pouring the water.
The officer explains how Nex technically initiated the fight.
So you squirted him with water or threw water on him, whatever it was. Okay. Then at that point, what happened?
They came at me, they grabbed onto my hair, I grabbed onto them. I threw one of them into a paper towel dispenser, and then they got my legs out from under me and got me on the ground.
Yeah, I don't even care about this, bro. I'm skipping this. This person just like got bullied in the bathroom. Like you poured water on them. Skip. I ended up skipping past this story because I didn't really think it was very important. But then I had to go back because look at what just happened.
All this all day long.
As the interaction comes to an end, the officer says his goodbyes.
Okay.
I'll see you around.
Hopefully not. Well, no, yeah, hopefully not. She said that.
Well, not in a bad way. I mean, hopefully I see you around school and class and wandering the halls and all that good stuff.
Yes,
you can
there you
smile
go.
and wave and say, hey, Thompson, and you know, all that good stuff. So.
But little did he know, he would never see Nex again.
Huh?
An ambulance here, quick, please. My daughter, I don't know what's going wrong. She's posturing, and her hands are in, and she is 16. She got beat up at school yesterday. I took her to the hospital last night. She's not doing good at all. I need someone here now.
I want to know how her breathing is.
She's breathing in, but then her eyes they open, but she's doing like a, like a really quick, and her hands are posturing already. They're rolling in like I don't know if it's from her head injury because she hit her head on the bathroom floor, and she kept saying she had a headache.
Okay. Can she still like look at you? Like if you're
No, her eyes are rolled up. I hope this ain't from her head. They're supposed to have checked her out good.
Just one day after this footage, on February 8th, Nex was pronounced dead. Federal privacy laws means that the disciplinary action taken on the students involved will not be disclosed. But any notion that the district has ignored taking action is untrue. Bizarrely, an autopsy report says the death was not caused by trauma.
Oh, it says that she ended up passing away because, you can just read that. Oh,
and many
man.
protests have taken place in support of Nex.
Listen to me.
Wow.
How old are you?
Here's the next one.
How old are you?
5.
5.
5-year-old
You feel like you
bully?
can make your own decisions? Huh?
This 5-year-old boy left school by himself and was found in the streets. But he wasn't the only criminal in this situation.
Okay, see, this is why people need to be big kids.
On January 14th, 2020, a school reported a missing 5-year-old student who escaped school and didn't want to return.
This kid escaped school. That is savage, dude. What?
Officer located him on a nearby street and sternly confronted the scared child.
quiet. Come here. Come here, buddy. Yeah, we'll be out with him. It's gonna be at 733 Silver Spring Ave. What's going on, man? What are you doing?
Avenue 2, George 14, 733 Silver Spring
What
Ave.
are you doing? Huh?
Since the boy was probably frightened, he didn't move, so the officer dragged him away.
I got you. Listen to me. How old are you? How old are you?
5.
5. You feel like you can make your own decisions? Huh? You feel like you can do what you want? Are you an adult? Are you 18? So why are you outside of school? Look at me. Why are you out of school? Why do you have people following you? Huh? I don't care if you don't want to go to school. You do not have that choice. You understand?
Charlie Adam 3393.
Get back over there. Now. Now. Don't make me take you over there.
Your record of that tag down.
Okay.
All right, can I give you a VIN? No, for a license.
Listen to me. I want you to listen very clear. You don't make any decisions for yourself unless somebody is trying to hurt you. Now, is somebody trying to hurt you?
George Yankee.
Allegedly at the school, the boy hit students and teachers, as well as breaking a $1,000 computer before walking off.
Damn, so they said this kid broke a computer and was hitting people.
Cut it out. Hey, cut it out. Cut it out.
I'm riding with you. We're going back to school.
Listen to what the officer says here, as they receive some serious backlash for this.
I don't know how y'all do it. Now, I'm not asking. Get in the car.
I'm going with you. Let's go.
Oh, we're going to have problems. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. You don't make that decision for yourself.
Does your mama spank you?
Probably not.
Does your mama spank you? Because she is today.
That's weird. That's weird.
Exactly what's going on.
You don't have to spank your kids, bro. You don't have to do that, bro. You just need to learn how to raise them right.
She suggested that the mother should break the law and hit him.
Oh, my life if I tried to do some stuff like that. I would have been beat 9 times before I got home.
I mean, yeah, escaping school is like a big deal, but like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Ain't nobody even listening.
You're listening.
The child isn't treated well at all, and the cops use force to drag him back to the school, constantly.
Yeah, they're not like being nice to the kid. I feel like they should be nice to the kid. Like, yeah, he's probably scared. He probably just didn't want to be at school. Like, just take him back. You can be mean, like, you can be stern with him, be like, you cannot leave school. That's not what you're supposed to do, and then be done. But like, saying you're gonna spank him and stuff, that's just overdoing it.
This is why you need to for kids.
What?
Get out. Now. Get out of the car. Now.
You have got to be joking me right now. You've got to joke.
I mean, how do you learn that type of behavior at 5?
Okay, see, this is why people need to be big kids. And just
What?
in the building. That's why people need to be big kids. I'm gonna ask you. Oh, wait, here. I have my thing on.
Bro, that's why people need to beat. That's messed up. That is a bad way of thinking. Horrible, horrible way of thinking.
Know what? Sit down.
2008 Cadillac.
Horrible.
Sit down.
Bro, I mean, even though he like broke computers and he was hitting people, that's what they said. Like, it's just, it all goes back to the family that he was raised with. Like, kids aren't normally like supposed to be super aggressive and stuff. It's just the way they were raised.
The way the officers treat the young child in the office is nothing far from disgusting.
That's weird.
Mama, let me
What?
I'm gonna wait.
Screaming at him, mocking
I
him,
hope your mom lets me beat.
and
Okay,
accusing the
what?
mother of teaching the behavior.
Because mama beat her.
Ain't nobody listening.
She's screaming in this kid's face, bro. You are so affected by this kid. Oh my God. This lady is like a big baby, bro. You need to fix.
Oh my God, I beat him so bad. Have a beat him.
Oh my God. This lady's insane.
You breaking up computers? What? Oh, they said he destroyed parts. the kids with a clipboard.
Mom.
I wish you would. I wish you would slap that phone out of there. Sit down. Sit down.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing,
You
bro.
better listen to me. You are mad rude. You understand? Your mom's gonna talk to you. She's on the phone. Hear what she has to say. Sit down.
Yes. Calm down, Doodle. Mommy coming, okay?
Sit down.
When the mother arrives, she's initially unaware of how the officers treated her son. So
Yeah.
she discusses with them how to deal with his behavior.
If you want, we can talk about that.
No, we can
away
talk
from
about
him.
it, yeah. I would just want to show y'all. Come on, Doodle. Stand up for Mommy. This is 16 years later. I have a 22-year-old at home. So this one is spoiled. I can't discipline him because the government won't allow you. Yes, you can. I him, but I can't discipline him how I want to discipline him because of this. I'm not losing my child to the system, and I'm not going to prison.
Okay, can you
So I just
clarify
wanted
how
to
you
show
would
y'all.
like to discipline?
This not being physically abused. Who said he was?
No,
Because
we believe it's the exact opposite.
yeah, we want you to beat him.
You're talking
I
about
can't-
getting him a.
I can't beat him. Why? Because I'm not going to prison. You don't go to prison for beating your child. Listen to me. I made a statement in here, and one of the school staffs, the principal. Perhaps you did it incorrectly. No. You don't use a weapon. No, I don't use a weapon. But you can smack that butt repeatedly. Listen to me. I'm 41 years old. I'm older than you. I understand that. So your age means nothing. I'm
This lady on the right has a huge problem. She has a huge problem, bro.
41. Okay. I have a 22-year-old. So this one, I'm starting all over again. Understood. He's spoiled. Not good. What did I email you this morning and say?
That if he's had a good day, he gets to celebrate that.
Take him to Jamaica, Disney World, do everything. Struggling, this not single a good day parent.
Following the incident, the mother was very upset with how it was handled and filed a lawsuit. 2 years later, and a settlement was made, and the mother received $275,000.
Them cops are weird.
$220,000 is being paid on behalf of the officers involved in the incident.
Wow, the cops, Officer Holiday and Officer Chrisman, have to pay $220,000. So each of those cops, the guy and the girl, the weird crazy girl, had to pay $110,000 each. That's good. Cause like you just have to be cool with kids, even if they do something bad. You have to understand that they're like, he's 5. He's only been here for 5 years. Like, you got to be cool with them.
The Board of Education. This
Hopefully
officer
they were
broke up
fired,
a
bro.
fight, then got attacked by a student.
What? Officer got attacked by a student?
Hey, look. You don't settle down. You don't settle down, you're gonna be
Slammed him to the ground.
You better chill. You better chill the out. You understand me? You ready to chill? You're gonna calm down.
He's not even doing anything, bro. He's just laying down,
Stop
bro.
it. Stop moving.
The kid quickly learned his lessons and he is placed in cuffs.
Yep, get off me. And when I get off you, you're gonna roll over on your stomach. You understand me? Yep. Other way. Turn away from me. Sit up on your butt. All right, stand up. We're going straight to the police office. Yeah.
The next stop is the office, where he is interrogated.
What was you guys fighting about? Don't want to talk yet? Hey, look, while we're in here, no phones, okay? No phones with me.
Why you taking my phone?
The cops then call in an administrator to the school to handle the situation.
16, can I get an administrator in the police office, please? All right, you cooled out now? So if I take those cuffs off of you, you're chill? Okay, stand up for me.
If I got a scratch on my face,
Go ahead and touch where you think it might be.
it hurt everywhere. Like,
Who is it? Your whole face? I don't actually see any scratches.
Claiming she had scratches on her head,
This
the
is a
cop
girl?
calls it lies.
All right, so what was happening? Kind of give me a gist of what was happening. Okay, so he came up to you, correct?
No, he didn't come up to me. He was standing on the side of the cafeteria.
There's a girl fighting with a boy, bro? What the hell? Why was a guy fighting a girl?
Did you guys ever actually exchange any blows or anything like that? Okay, so it was just verbal? Okay, so is your face hurting from me jumping on you? Oh, okay.
The story.
That kid is nice, bro. That kid is really nice, saying, yeah, I think I am hurt because of you.
The story goes on with little significance, and the student's punishment was undisclosed.
Oh, so the student got suspended, bro. This was a lot of weird clips, bro. This